Hello, chat. Do tell us if I fucked up the audio again, but hey, we are back with Exit to Eden, which, when I finally looked at the last two VODs to catch up on what we had done last couple games, we haven't played it in 2 months.
Yeah, we have not.
Because
In a long, dark season.
vaccines are very important, but adding a vaccine to one's spoony life is a treacherous idea. So, I've been physically and mentally mostly broken for 2 months, is about what happened. And even then, the last game, I apparently was suffering migraines, neck nerve pinches, and all sorts of weird stuff, so that was a weird game. Anyway, hi.
Neck is better.
Yes, my neck is better, I think.
We're back. It's been 2 months, but we are back.
Woohoo!
Yay.
And yes, Arcane, the audio does seem good.
Okay. You can hear all of us equally and not just mostly me or mostly not me.
It seemed all right on my end, and then I muted it because I don't want to go insane.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I can take about 30 seconds of my own voice before I start to lose it a little bit.
That might add to the verisimilitude of Klaus's current situation with
I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think last game I tried to fix it and then no one could hear me. So, woohoo!
It's an eternal struggle.
Yeah.
I thought vampire was the eternal struggle. Ba-dum-bum.
Ba-dum-bum.
That's a bad old game.
So, I'm the GM. These are the players. You can't see one of them today because reasons, but it's fine. We'll play as long as the audio holds out. Audio only should not be a problem. Mercury is still in retrograde and trying to level up. Arcane, could you type heard 1 sec on on PS4? Okay, I don't know what that means. Someone translate.
I have no idea either.
Okay. But that's why, I set up a Nightbot for this. Yay! I have also defanged the Nightbot so that it should stop bullying our viewers.
Was it doing that?
Yes. It was like, you can't say that. You can't you have posted too much in chat in the last 30 seconds. And it's like, what? What?
God bless Nightbot's little heart.
Yeah, it tries.
It tries.
It means well.
So yeah, Olive, 2 people are watching tonight. Thank you for coming.
I think your OBS is lying.
Oh, good. Well, no, well, yeah, because OBS is informing the viewer metric. Woo. Okay, Arcane can hear all of us equally, so let's hope that holds up. So yes, I'm the GM, and this is NWoD in space, where the Supernats are out. Everyone knows that they exist, and they're the central government's convenient new scapegoats. So, content warning. On one hand, skin tone racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, those are all gone. It's 6,000 years in the future in Earth's future, even though they lost Earth. Oh well. However, all of those phobias and isms got all, double downed on classism, which is a big problem. And things like slavery still happen, even if the perpetrators don't call it that. So, content warning, mature themes. There are many I'm not going to dabble in, but those are the ones that are going to come up. And our players are contracted or regular employees of Karve Tourism Ltd, which is an interstellar tourist agency, which is a front for an underground railroad, getting supernats and escaped synthetic humans out of bad systems and into better ones. but it seems like the only better system left in the Expanse might be Idun's system. Which is where our story usually takes place, but today, hopefully we get to the Limos system, where things really suck, but our Underground Railroad proponents are going to try and save it, or save some part of it, or something. We have VODs on YouTube and Twitch if you want to catch up with what the F is going on. Watch the last couple episodes, even though the audio is terrible. So yeah, that's me, GM. So let's say hi to our players and let's go clockwise. Klaus, or Dracus, who are you playing today?
I'm Dracus. I'm playing Klaus, who is the resident asshole mage and medic of the group. I don't know what's going on most of the time, but you know, that's just a character trait at this point.
Oh, and you still have that hitchhiker on the hard drive in
Oh
your brain.
yeah, I sure do. And it's not on the hard drive in my brain because we wiped that. Yeah, several sessions ago and even more months ago now. Definitely got a magic hedge adjacent sentient virus in my head basically because I have a computer in there and am a mage and the universe decided to just totally screw me over with all of the totally botched rolls that we got trying to get it out. So
there was
it's been a fun character beat.
When an army of hackers, like an actual army, botches with the one, like,
Yeah.
it's not just me as the universe, it's also the universe, and the gaming gods are laughing at us.
Oh, yes.
So yes, Min's butt space is inside Klaus's head, so Klaus is unfortunately still one health level down because of inability to sleep and taking a -1 to mental rolls. So, next, clockwise is Masterson/Holiday, aka Zardoz. Who are you today?
I'm currently playing, I believe it's Captain Masterson,
Yes,
a
that is your new alternative identity.
highly respected member of the Inspector General's office of the central government.
Yes.
When I'm not doing that, I may be a piano player.
Yay! I forget. Did the vampire boss of the tourist agency help with your new identity, or was that all your military buddies?
All my military buddies.
Okay, just checking. Lastly, we have Puka. Even though it's lost, we have a Puka because it's NWoD, but we have a Puka.
These things happen. I'm Puka, and I am playing Sungrazer, who is a strung-out smuggler type. And I think should I put the fake name that I'm using for this journey, which I believe was,
if you want.
One of us was Rosencrantz and one of us was Guildenstern. I can't remember which was which.
One of them was definitely Petruchio, who is the Von True vampire boss of this agency. I wrote them all down.
He sounds like the Rosencrantz.
I think yeah, and I think I might have been Guildenstern in that instance.
I don't remember what I put. I'm sorry.
I think we gave you a name.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not helpful, but I think it's something we did.
Oh yeah, Holiday's Masterson. Dune is Derek with a C. Petruchio is Mix Rosencrantz. Sungrazer is Guildenstern. I will have to go back and look at the VODs because I did not write down... Oh no, Klaus is Jean Arrakis.
That sounds like something I would make up. Okay.
Okay. It scans. So yes, the last couple episodes back in April, our intrepid, our dedicated crew of tourist agents / Underground Railroad smugglers, basically, were collecting resources, figuring out strategies, building fake IDs and paper trails. Their boss is who could not play tonight, is basically a Von True that is a combination of the head guy from the head guy and the computer guy from Leverage. Though as a gender fluid person, because this is the future and that's okay. That's normal now. Yay! There are gonna be so many non-binary NPCs tonight. I'm gonna be so happy. Lost my train of thought. But yeah, oh, and they have a ship, which they killed a thing that killed a bunch of lost privateers, which are changelings that still work for the True Fae that kidnap changelings and turn them into basically POW servants. Hence, slavery is something I can't really take out of the setting of NWoD, because that's happened to, and that may have happened to anyone who is playing a changeling. It is rough. It is a rough universe. But having dispatched the privateers, they came into possession of those privateer ship, which has a holo on the spaceship, which is something the changelings of the system had heard of but had never actually seen before. Because space likes to eat magic, because it is the abyss in terms of Mage the Awakening. So it's very hard to build something magic on the even within the bulkhead of your ship. Oh yes, so channel points. Thank you, Tempto, for reminding me. We do have a donation link. And... okay, that wasn't the command. We do have a donate link, so we will accept money for boosts. However, we also use channel points. So look at the little bubble icon thingy. For boosts for players and for the GM. And currently, for 1,000 channel points, you can suggest a name for the holo ship. And then once we have... well, that pretty much, Tempto, that was the first one we've gotten. So once we have maybe 5 to 10 of them, I will make the players choose one. Because otherwise none of us have been able to think of anything. And I'm the GM, so I just sort of abstain from this vote. And yeah. However, someone did buy an NPC drop and made the AI on the ship Holly from Red Dwarf, all of them. So that's fun. Well, fun for me. My players may or may not have seen this property yet.
It's on the list. I will get there one day.
So yes. So the last couple of games were more or less an extended shopping episode, but more like shopping for the resource of information about where they were going and what they would need to do to prepare to be there, and how much more it sucks in the system they live in. And even aside from the racism, the anti-supernatural hatred, it sucks in other ways, like laws, especially about weapons.
Laws, who needs them?
Not to mention, Limos system actually has anti-magic laws, which Idun does not have, even though they're both in the Expanse. Because the core systems, a series of 6 planets in, I believe, 3 systems that were the original settlements and colonies of the humans in this sector of space, have decided they hate supernaturals. They're legally not allowed to live in the core. And if anyone wants to join the core planets and their prestige and political power, they have to fall in line with their policies. Yeah, unfortunately, Merc/Dune couldn't make it tonight. Neither could Petruchio/Josh. But it's good. It's cool. I have contingency set up. Is there anything else I forgot to say about the stream before we start?
Not that I'm aware of or can think of.
Okay.
Keep it civil.
So, And now we're a full. Okay. I tried to start game on time tonight, but one day I'll learn how to time manage. Today it was also not that day. Whee! NPC, you sit under here. Okay. So, given what happened last game, Klaus, Sungrazer, and Holiday. Today's game starts. You wake up in a soft, comfy bed with soft, smooth, and gauzy, high thread count luxury bed sheets, and there is soft morning light streaming in through the windows, and the open double balcony doors. Each of you is alone in your room. It is definitely very just white and off-white and wood tone furniture and carpeting and gauzy curtains floating in a nice, warm, comfy breeze. And you cannot quite remember how you got here.
Do I have my communicator?
No, you do not.
Excellent. I purchased MediMask before last at the end of last session,
Yes?
and I was it's not on my sheet. I forgot to write it down.
Okay.
I used MediMask to ship into Masterson, so that I am completely matching my disguise and my perceived identity.
Okay. Now, does the mini-mask include the voice modulator you said you'd be using?
I have the voice modulator, but it's not a built-in piece of. It's a piece of equipment I have to wear.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Yeah, it's a medical prosthetic at this point.
Otherwise, y'all are dressed in, well, comfy pajamas or nothing, depending on your character's preference. And all three of you in each isolated in a room with a giant bed all to yourself, smell bread and coffee and warm breakfasty things in an adjoining room through a door that's just cracked a little bit.
Gonna
What do you
like
do?
mutter to
Highly
myself, I must have died, and try to see if I can contact anyone. Cause that's built into my head.
So yes, you do. So Klaus has a plugin because this is space opera, but it's also cyberpunk. Because why the fuck wouldn't we do both? This is World of Darkness, goddammit. Oh, thanks, Mod. I don't know what happened, but thank you.
But
Okay, so you basically use the cell phone in your brain to call out, like, who, or do you call someone,
just
or
text the group chat and be like, am I dead?
so you feel like it went through, but you don't get any responses.
Do we have our phones / communication devices?
The others, unless it's a plugin, you do not have it.
No.
Well, I'll get out of bed and see if I can figure out where that smell is coming from.
Well, there is one door. Well, there are the balcony door, or there are some outward-facing doors that lead to a nice little balcony. But there's also an inner door that is cracked open. You're pretty sure the lovely smells are coming from the inner door.
I will investigate the inner door.
Okay. It is already open, so we don't have to roll for that. It does not seem to be locked or trapped because it is already open.
So I don't need to take 20 on my search check?
Nope. You just walk
Okay.
in. And you open the door, you see there are several other adjoining doors that are, again, just cracked open. Well, 2 others are cracked open, 2 are closed. So for a total of... And then there is one door that definitely seems to be the main entrance into or exit into a hallway. And this, so because of the placement of these other rooms, This doesn't have any windows unto itself, but there is sort of like, it's kind of a combination living room, dining room. So there's this really nice big table with chairs set up with just breakfast, like continental breakfast, but not the crappy American kind, like the really nice European kind, or how Europeans would try to do American breakfast. It's like, so there's warm fresh bread, pancakes, bacon, sausage. There is an enormous like carafe of coffee. Actually, it's not even a pour carafe. They actually just set up like one of those ones with the spout on the front. So this is gallons and gallons of some sort of coffee.
Well, I can get behind that.
And so that is what you see, Holiday / Masterson.
Grabbing a sharp knife.
They're not super sharp. Like it like maybe it probably would, like you could do some damage, but it wouldn't give you a bonus because you'd have to try hard to really make it do a thing. They're butter knives and like meh.
I can sharpen it. It'll be fine.
Okay, that would take a crafts roll, but just tell me when we're gonna do that. So the other two of you hear someone walking around outside of your slightly ajar door.
Gonna kind of like sidle up to the door and see if I can see who it is through the crack without drawing attention to myself.
You see someone you do not recognize at all, so Masterson, describe what you look like.
I believe Masterson is 6'2", fairly well muscled. He is a military officer, has a big black handlebar mustache, short black hair, blue eyes.
In this case, I'm staying right here until I know what's going on.
Sungrazer is hiding in the corner behind the door.
Masterson, does Minimask cost glamour?
No. It costs 1 to activate it the first time, but after that you're stuck. Because I have a glamour 5, I have that form until I change it again.
Do you have a page number citation? I just want to read it real quick.
I have one, not with the resources I have available.
Oh, that's right, you're on your phone. Okay, let me bring that up real quick then on my computer, while the other two of you figure out what you're gonna do about the stranger in the living room. Well, actually, to Sungrazer, you're still in bed.
I'm hiding behind the door at the first sound of someone approaching. Also, Minimask is page 118 on the core book.
Oh, bless you. I am a librarian and I love people who give me citations. Though I understand that is hard to do while on phone and not PC. So no problem. Now I have to remember where I put the book on my own computer. Yay.
It's escaped.
It's escaped.
No.
Oh, maybe it's in the folder marked Changeling the Lost Second Ed. Oh, there it is.
That's a kind of escape.
So ADHD has sometimes benefits as a GM, but it's not giving me any of them today. And it's called Minimask? Oh wait, 119. That's right, you just told me.
118.
108. Alright. Oh, right. Minimask. Interesting. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So you've basically, yeah, so the way changelings work in NWoD and Chronicles of Darkness. So this is more of a merit than a contract, or this is a merit rather than a contract.
Yeah, correct. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Okay, then that's totally fine. So Minimask means that, so in Lost Changelings, you are a freaking monster because the True Fae made you that way, or warped you into that. But because of the nature of what you are, your body / soul automatically generates a human seeming, masking your true form that maybe kind of looks like what you used to look like before the True Fae took you, but maybe not quite. So, one thing I will say is that if we can backtrack a little now that I know you have that and what it actually is, there's a lot of I'm spanning 4+ different character types. There's a lot. So Masterson, when you woke up, you still had your old seeming, which is not what's supposed to happen, and you don't remember changing it back. So you
Okay.
can spend another glamour to turn it back on again.
Yeah, I will.
And when you do that, you end up spending 2 glamour, and you don't know how. Because that's not how it's supposed to work.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, this is just sort of how I GM in general. If I nerf your power, it means something's going on.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm.
Some people take offense to me nerfing the rules, but it's like, no, but there's a reason. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh no, you're fine.
Okay. So yeah, that was weird. So yes, so Klaus, you still see the strange giant man with a handlebar mustache in the living room.
Okay.
Standing over a really good-looking breakfast with a gigantic pot of coffee.
I have an idea of what I want to do, but I don't know how you want to handle it.
Okay. Well, I've been running a lot of Fate lately, so try me. What do you want to do? And maybe I'll just set a difficulty level.
I have learned that Mage Sight is a thing.
Yes, it is.
And I don't really like I see how it works, but I don't know how it would work in detecting the magic that Holiday is using.
I generally go with the philosophy when it comes to sphere magic that studying studying other people's magic or other splats magic, whether vampires or changelings or werewolves, takes prime sight. Because prime is kind of the ability to see, like, the base code of magic.
Okay.
So, otherwise, mages can't really see fae, seemings, or other stuff. Though this being a world of darkness where all the creature types know about each other, you can sometimes figure like that my vampire buddy stared at someone and then they did what he told them to. Like, you kind of, okay.
You can make some assumptions there.
So, did you take prime?
I did not.
Whoops. Sorry. You spent a lot of XP. I'll let you edit it after this game.
Okay.
For reasons. But yeah. It's like, oops. But that is something Prime is handy for, or so I've seen.
Yeah, I didn't make any new decisions on which spheres I had because I am not always entirely sure on the applications of them, so I'll make a note of this so that I can do different stuff in the future.
Mage is hard. Sungrazer, you are still in bed. Do you go back to sleep?
So as soon as there's the sound of as soon as Sungrazer wakes up and says, "What is going on? This is not the usual cot with no pillow that I sleep on." And if there's pajamas, that's even weirder because Sungrazer probably is usually in some kind of grease-stained overalls that haven't been washed in 6 months. So as soon as there's the sound of someone approaching, gonna leap up and like hide quickly behind the door and just.
You also see a large. Actually, no, because you're also a changeling. You see the, or actually, Masterson. Can other changelings still see your seeming? Your changeling
I think
seeming.
I think it's just the. I think it's just the seeming that's changed.
Yeah. Stargazer, you see Holiday with a new human seeming.
Okay. All right. On recognizing that it's Holiday, I will peek out very slowly
I will say at this point, Klaus, you can see Sungrazer poking their head out of one of the other doors.
Okay.
Ooh, and someone gave me 3 GM. Oh, Tempto, Fadier, thank you for the GM +1s. PCs, you have 3 +1s left over from previous games.
Only 3?
Good to know.
Fadier also bought an NPC. Donkey Kong is a lawyer. So we will see. I apologize if I don't get to using your NPCs right away.
Oh, I have an NPC to buy as well.
I did also make a list on today's notes of all the ones we still have in the chamber, so to speak, and we will see what comes up today. But yes, so Sungrazer, you also see breakfast and the gigantic pot of coffee, and a friend in the room.
Ah, friend. By friend, I mean coffee, and then other friend, which is, so I'll very carefully peek out and then step out into the living room and first make a beeline for the coffee and then acknowledge Masterson.
Once I
What?
see Sungrazer moving, I will come out into the main area.
Yes. Sungrazer clearly seems to be as comfortable with this handlebar mustache guy as anyone else Sungrazer knows. So,
Which isn't very comfortable, but at least not hiding.
yeah.
I
Or
trust
trying to stab.
Sungrazer's judgment.
And Masterson, you see Klaus and the Sungrazer come in, so you are not alone in this not a hellscape. Still kind of
Well.
suspicious, but it's just so nice.
For the sake of verisimilitude, I'm going to also eat some food because I'm starving. But I will mute myself while that happens.
Do you eat in character?
No.
Just coffee.
No, probably
food.
just coffee. Probably just coffee, yeah.
That's fine.
If someone else eats first and they don't get seized by the keepers, for example, then maybe we'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. Changeling life. Thank you for the custom NPC drop. 3 childlings stacked on top of each other under a trench coat. I can work with that. Childlings aren't exactly a thing in NWoD, but we'll make it work.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah.
I as GM, I do get final editorial word on NPCs, but I'll make it work. Don't think you have to know NWoD or this weird mirror universe of NWoD to build an NPC for us. Alright. So, and +1s are things that we can add to our rolls, and I just realized I didn't bring out my dice. We are basically, what I did was, space is very Chronicles of Darkness, so what I did was go back to NWoD, and the weird LARP rule system, which brings every White Wolf roll into a 1d10 roll, that you then add all your dots to, instead of rolling a dice for every dot, because my players did not all have fistfuls of d10s in their possession, and there is a pandemic going on, so I'm hesitant to make people order physical stuff. So, here we go. Dice. So yes, +1s boost GM or player rolls. And they have a communal pool that hopefully you will buy +1s for. Anywho, I'm going to stop interrupting the role-playing now. The coffee is really good.
I'm using that knife I picked up to poke various random objects to make sure that they're not changelings. And I'm not stuck back in Arcadia.
If you were concerned about that, roll, make a d10 roll and add your clarity.
Have we seen Klaus, by the way?
Klaus, have they seen you?
I mean, I walked into the room and didn't announce myself or hide it, so I don't know.
Okay. Pause momentarily from pouring the coffee directly into mouth, being like, because if Klaus is there, that actually is slightly reassuring.
Well, it's one of those things that's like the big tank with the spigot on it, so you're just like,
save some for me.
You can pick it up off the table. I mean, it's hot, but you're also your name is Sungrazer, and maybe
Yeah.
that's not such a big deal.
Heat doesn't bother me so much.
Yeah.
I will generously give the other half of the urn to Klaus.
I rolled a
Thanks.
13 on my Arcadia check.
You rolled a what?
13.
Okay. So basically, I believe that's how canning checks work. If not, well, that's how they work today. So you are not in Arcadia, and you are not in the hedge.
Okay.
You are, as far as you can tell, you are in the mundane world. But as changeling, you know for sure you are not in either of. You're not in the meh place or the oh god no place.
Awesome.
I mean, ultimately, that is a good thing to be in neither of those places.
I
Still
mean,
doesn't answer the question of where we are, though.
That is true. I don't remember going to sleep here. This is not my beautiful house.
I didn't think they could go to sleep. Pointing at Klaus.
I didn't think so either.
I didn't think I could myself. And
I
yet,
don't feel like I've been sleeping.
What does your jackass passenger think?
Class, now that he
Poke
mentions
around
it,
in my brain a little bit.
you can't. You feel kind of as cruddy as you usually do since that whole thing started, but you don't hear Min. Like, you're not sure if it's being quiet for some nefarious reason or what, but you can't hear it.
There's nothing there. I don't know if he's just being a new kind of asshole and being weirdly silent for once, or this is concerning.
but he's still there.
Can't tell. I feel like I still feel like shit, but
Have more coffee and see if that helps.
Now, theoretically, if you two introduced other chemicals into your body, like carbohydrates and proteins, your body may adjust and actually rebuild itself.
well, okay.
Does anyone start eating the food?
So scared to do so.
I'm just going to aggressively continue drinking coffee.
Yeah, honestly, I think like that's pretty much what Sungrazer would be doing as well. It's just
Oh, if it were me, I'd poison the coffee first. I will grab a something sweet. A muffin. I will acquire a muffin.
There are muffins.
That muffin is mine.
Is it a plain muffin, or is it a blueberry muffin, or is it a cinnamon muffin?
It is a plain muffin.
Okay. It is, however, like a proper muffin, not like a cake muffin.
Intriguing.
So, which is weirdly a higher quality muffin because muffin physics are weird. Capitalist muffin physics are weird. Or strange, I should say. Weird means something else in the system.
Pretty sure we're in hell.
If this is hell, I should have died sooner.
as far as hellscapes go, I'll take it. I'll take a hellscape with muffins. Are they? How is the muffin?
How is the muffin?
It's good. Like, you've heard of the difference between cake muffins and real muffins, but actually this is pretty good. It has kind of that like more inconsistent biscuit texture rather than a cakey texture. It's kind of nice, but also sweet.
Do you feel compelled to eat more muffins?
Like flaky and buttery. But not greasy. It's so nice.
Intrigue.
Addictive muffin.
So, like, if this is hell and we're dead, anyone remember how we died?
My guess, our ship exploded coming through the Stygian gate.
But do we remember that?
I don't remember that.
No, but there's a lot of things I don't remember.
Fair enough.
Now, my guess is Rosencrantz is behind that door. Derek is behind that door. And whoever owns this particular place is behind that door.
Perhaps we should not. I'll go knock on the door. Why not?
Which one?
The one that seems to be that Holiday is indicating might be the person who.
The fanciest of the doors.
Yeah. Hellscape Superintendent.
Yeah, so what's funny is as you do that, someone else knocks softly on the other side of the door, and they're like, and then you sense a pause, like, what? And there is a lock on this door. It locks from the inside, like, you know, an apartment door or a hotel door.
So we've dealt with locked doors before. I think we can
Yeah, you can. I mean, if you want to open the door, that's up to you. But you can just unlock it, and it does not appear to be trapped.
I think I followed Sungrazer over there, and like hearing the knock on the other side, I just like put my ear up against the door very dramatically, trying to hear what's on the other side.
dump out one of the mugs and then do like the.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
There's other mugs. There's like plenty of empty mugs in it. Okay, I guess that's an wits investigation.
Oh, I have acute senses too. Should also.
There's also a peephole in the door.
12. I have forgotten how many successes that is. 2?
That is 2. Yes, I still have my
I have a
handy
sticky
chart.
note somewhere, but it's been buried for a while. There it is.
I turned my mouse pad into a cheat sheet DM screen. Sungrazer, did you roll?
Yeah, I'm just adding. You said wits plus investigation, right?
Yeah.
And I have the acute senses, so 11 for me.
Okay, so you both got 2 successes. You hear someone on the other side of the door, and they're just sort of, you know, they're breathing. You can hear them breathing.
Not a vampire.
So not a vampire. Well, yeah, as far
Probably
as you know, not a vampire. And they're just sort of shifting from foot to foot, like just waiting for someone to open this door. There is a peephole in the door.
I'll look in the peephole.
There's this, how do I describe them? There's sort of a tall, kind of delicate, you get by their micro expressions that they're non-binary. As far as you can tell, they're not a changeling, so, and they're breathing and blinking, so they're probably not a vampire. So possibly human? And they're just sort of, you know, they're very just delicate, just, you know, they're wearing a lot of shiny makeup, but they're wearing this, very just sort of simple, flowy kind of, linen dress that's sort of a nice bleached white color, and it looks very, very soft. And they're just kind of chilling. They have what might be an interesting plug-in in their face that makes their skin kind of what I was going to do with makeup, except time dilation, ADHD problems. Kind of like this kind of like nice kind of loopy kind of floral thing that kind of fades in and out, kind of like a mica shift, only it's kind of just fading in and out on its own, so it might be some kind of cosmetic plug-in. They're pretty cute, and they're pretty chill, and they just... they're just sort of, you know, waiting for maybe someone to open the door.
I'm just
Oh.
looking at Sungrazer like, are we
Yeah.
opening this door? Because
I
I'm not
will-
looking through the peephole.
I will back down from the peephole and whisper to Klaus, like, I don't recognize them. I don't know who or what they are. They're kind of cute, but putting that aside, I don't know if we should introduce ourselves. I don't feel a need to. There's still more coffee to drink. The three of us are here. Do we want additional friends? Maybe they're not
we
a
aren't
friend.
trying to break down the door, so I'm just gonna open the door.
NPC appears non-violent. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, you open the door.
Sungrazer's way too paranoid to like.
There's basically two people crowding the door, so this person is sort of stands in the doorway. It's like, oh, good morning.
Is that what time it is?
Well, yes. I mean, if you didn't say you wanted to sleep later, but I thought I'd check in. How did you sleep? Is everything to your liking?
Almost eerily so.
Oh, well, I'll take that as a yes. Again, welcome to Elysium. If you don't remember, my name is Cosma. If you need anything, just call the front desk and ask for me, and I will see what I can do.
Are you the proprietress?
I'm the manager, more or less.
I see. Forgive me, but I don't recall us, you know, paying for rooms or anything. How is this being comped?
Well, the three of you, you don't remember?
Not a thing.
It's been
Huh.
a rough few days.
All right. Technically, it's company policy not to discuss financials once you've checked in, but I mean, you did all seem very tired. The three of you checked in and said you were waiting for two more party members to arrive either today or tomorrow.
And did they?
Well, this was only last night. No one's come in asking about the Karve party yet. So, you paid for the full entertainment package. So, for 2 weeks, you basically, with no additional fees, just have access to whatever you want on the island.
Doing all the composure possible to like guard reaction.
I'm glancing back toward Masterson like, are you paying attention to this?
I mean, I will say you did all seem rather tired last night.
Where are our weapons?
Hmm?
Where are our things?
They should be. We had employees. We had porters put them away in your dressers in your bedrooms. I hope they got that right. If not, I'll have a talk with them. No problem.
Okay.
When we came in last night, it was just the three of us.
Yes, you said you were awaiting two more members, and they'll ask for the Karve party. I believe we've sold resort packages through the Karve Tourism Ltd before. It's my understanding that you're all employees.
Close enough. What planet are we on?
Balder?
Hold that thought. I'm gonna go rifle through the my dressers and try and find my watch.
Yep, you go back into your room. In your dresser is about like, it's not all your stuff, but it's the stuff you would take on a vacation, including your watch.
How many days have passed on my countdown timer for the Huntsman?
For some reason, that's a little hazy. It takes a minute for you to like, okay, how much? It says it's basically been about 2 weeks. Since
I
your
will
encounter
return.
with the huntsman.
I will return to the front room. That would mean we've been off planet for how long?
Well, that's the thing. Balder is the main
Not
habitable
off planet.
Yeah, you're not off planet. Balder is the main habitable planet in Eden system. So,
But from when we were leaving to go to wherever we were headed, how much time has passed since we were supposed to be en route?
you are having trouble with time in your head. You know that y'all were working on that. You do remember that.
Okay.
But then things get a little hazy.
Oh, good.
Always an encouraging sign.
But yeah, you have clothes and toiletries and your shaving kit and you know. You do find your communicator.
I will reply back to class probably.
Am I dead? Probably.
Oh, very useful.
So,
How did we get here?
to be honest, it is company policy to not ask too many questions. I'm afraid we're not, we like to give our guests their privacy, and more often than not, people come here seeking some solace and even, well, on a psychological level, recovery time. So it is our policy to not ask questions. That said, we only have basic medical available on the island. So do you all think you might need further medical assistance? Because I can start calling for a medi-heli from the mainland if you're not okay. So, I did have a note in that I made when you checked in that you Mix Guildenstern. That's
Be me, yeah.
yeah, that's you. Mix Guildenstern was interested in the race this morning, which is part of why I came by.
Sure.
Okay. There will be a pod waiting for you. They have those like nice simple light up signs on them. It'll have your name on it. And the start of the race is in about an hour.
More coffee then.
Oh, as you like. If you need more, just give a call to the main desk and we'll send more up.
Has Klaus finished off the urn?
Oh, probably.
I think we might need another urn.
Are there news channels?
Yes, there's a TV, and she motions over to something that looks like a fireplace, but you can tell once you're looking at it, oh, that's a digital screen. You weren't really paying attention to it before, you suppose, because what the fuck? But she basically like snaps her fingers 3 times, and it turns into a TV. Or it is very clear it is also just a widescreen TV.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, you get all the news channels. If there's anything for some reason, you can't find in our entertainment package, just call down to the desk and we'll see what we can do.
Remind me of the name of the race and what the prize is.
Oh, it's not really for prize. It's part of the entertainment package. It's more just for fun.
Okay, thank you.
So, and on the mantle above the TV are some more brochures of what we offer. If you can't quite remember, again, if you think you would like some medical intervention, just call the desk. Just.
We'll do that.
I mean, to be okay, this isn't exactly company policy for me to say this, but you all seem a little shaken. It wouldn't be the first time people have rolled in somewhat inebriated and not remembered how they got here the next morning, but that really wasn't you last night. You all
I mean, that would just be par for the course. This isn't, but, you know.
I mean, it has happened before, but you don't seem particularly hungover this morning, and you didn't seem inebriated last night, just, like I said, tired. So, like, we can, you know, we have camping and hiking and racing and athletics available, so we do have some medical facilities, but nothing really in depth.
Did we mention where we had come in to Balder? Which port?
Well, there's really only one port on the island. But I presume you came from the mainland. It was a small helicopter, not a ship from space. It was an Atmo transport, I believe.
Do you know what time it arrived?
It was pretty late last night. It was about 10 p.m. Well, not late depending on one's lifestyle, but in terms of resort time, that's a bit late.
Making a mental note to go look for records of arrivals.
Well, I'm glad I thought to come down and check, because you all seem a little rattled.
We'll need a few minutes to sort ourselves out, I'm sure.
I
It's
mean,
nothing that more coffee wouldn't help with.
I mean, if I would. Okay, I'm biased. I work here and I am the manager of this resort, but you've paid for the full entertainment package, so it's possible that maybe doing something you enjoy might help you feel more yourself again.
Perhaps.
And it's just check. We have our brochures, and also there's just a channel on our island specific channel that shows all of what we offer in massage and retreat and meditation, and also athletic activities, etc. Do you have any other questions for me before I
do
go?
not, thank you.
All right. Well, like I said, just call down to the desk. I'm sorry. What was that, sir? I couldn't hear Masterson.
I think it was just a phone buzz.
Oh, okay.
I'm buzzing. I keep trying to turn those off, but
Okay. If that's all, feel free to ask me for me by name, if anything of concern comes up. But otherwise, just call the desk, and within reason. Well, I mean, once you take a look at the full entertainment package, it's pretty expansive, I should say. So, but just try to enjoy yourselves while you're here. If there's anything we can help you with, just ask. All right. I'll see you all around. And they just sort of, calmly just sort of, they have this very calm, gliding walk. And they just sort of pass out the door, close it behind them quietly, and you hear them walking further down the hallway.
Once the door is closed, I'm like, so everything here is weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Not really sure. I assume that the whole notion of me being interested in the race was connected to that notion of us, doing things that make us feel good to help us remember slash acclimate. Racing doesn't really make me feel good, but maybe I'll give it a try.
But if that's the only lead we have on anything we did last night.
Yeah. It sounds like the kind of thing that I would sign myself up for if I were completely piss drunk.
I don't feel like I was completely pissed drunk last night.
Me neither, but
I don't know how much time we've lost, but we have lost time.
lost time like we've been in the hedge lost time, or lost time like we've been drugged for.
Doesn't feel like lost time in the hedge lost time, but my murder watch is down to 2 weeks.
I'm gonna try not to be concerned that you're calling that a murder watch, but okay.
Murder timer?
That's not helpful.
No, if it ticks down to 0, we're still here without any of our guns or anything else we would normally have. I'm not sure we can take a huntsman by ourselves.
Do we have our guns? Are the guns in the dresser?
You do not find any weapons.
Go figure.
Or at least not any, like... Well, I mean, technically, you're all walking weapons, but you don't find any firearms or blades or clubs or anything. Tasers.
Where's Henrietta?
Oh, what was Henrietta again?
Henrietta's my pistol.
Oh, yeah.
That
Where's
would be
Vera?
30 kilograms. Okay.
In the absence of other data, I suppose we should go outside.
Maybe see if there are like traces of like evidence that you guys were drugged. I don't know that I would be able to tell what's what in my own system, gonna be honest, but
If you need blood, I'll give you some blood, but I can't promise that it's not mostly coffee at this point.
I mean, I can only assume that's true, but can I do some sort of medicine check to see if there's like, I don't know, residue of being drugged in their eyes or something?
Sure, that would be, I guess that would be wits medicine. Yikes.
A thing that I'm good at.
Oh wait, that's your old sheet too. What does the new sheet look like?
That's a 14, which is 3 successes.
I mean, Sungrazer looks about the same as they usually do, like strung out on caffeine. You said you got a 13?
14.
A 14. Oh, that's 3 successes. Yeah, they seem okay. With 3 successes, you also remember you have an internal computer that helps you check your own blood substance levels. And there's really nothing in yours either that is out of the ordinary, and as far as you can tell, the coffee is just acting the way good coffee would. So you, neither of you, Sungrazer doesn't even seem particularly hungover. Let alone
I
drugged.
don't think we were drugged. There's something else going on here.
There are vampires and things that can alter memories, yeah? And presumably wizardly folk.
I would be careful using your changeling abilities in here.
I hadn't intended to. The walls have eyes. And the windows have ears.
Ducks have
Of
ears.
course.
Do ducks have ears?
What if we open the other 2 doors?
Do you? Yeah, it's, you don't hear anything in there. Do you check the handle, or?
Check to see if it's hot. Don't open it if it's hot. There might be
Nope.
a fire in the hallway.
It's not hot. The warmest thing in the room is Masterson. As per usual.
Is it locked?
It is not actually locked. It's just closed. It looks like there is, like one of those simple push-button locks on the other side. But it
Gently-
just opens, and it's just, you know, another room, but this one, the windows and doors are all closed. And it just looks like it's another hotel bedroom waiting for an occupant. If you check the
Okay.
dressers, there's nothing in them yet.
Same with the other room.
Yeah.
Presumably, Dune and Petruchia would have been. Had
I
they
don't-
been somehow corralled into this situation.
Okay.
I'm gonna check the brochures and see if there's anything that's like, ooh, pick me.
There's a lot of stuff on the TV and the brochures. This is very much, you know, Rysian Star Trek Pleasure Island fun kind of stuff. Just like food, parties, companionship, because that is legal in this system. Clubs, spas, massages, swimming, an interesting variety of substances. Athletics, sports, it's and even like camping packages and like mountain climbing. It also says there's skiing available in season. It's warm out. You're pretty sure this isn't the season for skiing, but you know, who knows? It's the future.
Summer skiing.
Summer skiing. I mean,
More-
water skiing is available, but also like snow skiing. You also see just from the tagline of the resort / island is called Elysium. And it's about kind of a rough round shape island that's about 6 miles in diameter. But you are about 100 miles from the main continent.
From Eden or just from the continent?
From the continent. I forget if I named the continent, but Baldur basically has one main continent and then a lot of water and some islands.
Idunia.
Idunia. But yeah, there's all sorts of fun stuff to do, like, and this is the one marked, you know, it cites that all of these additional amenities do have additional fees unless you pay for the full entertainment package, which she said you did. So.
I
but
would
the price.
waste this much money.
Klaus, you do remember that Petruchia was making a lot more money from even just like the tourist side of the business.
Yeah, I remember
So-
that being a thing. But-
They were going through kind of a windfall, but you know.
Better question. Why would they spend it on us?
Yeah.
Hashtag Venture Life.
Summer bonus?
Would be a better bonus if we weren't suspicious, but here we are.
Better bonus if we didn't have our memories fucked with as part of the exchange. Venture life.
What is the last thing we remember? Like,
You can't really remember like a specific timeline. Like you do remember like hanging out at Three Witches before it opened and them talking about your brain problem and the research y'all were doing and you know, basically filling up the hollow ship, the as yet unnamed hollow ship with, you know, stuff and equipment. But you don't really remember a specific last thing you remember.
Okay.
It's all a bit hazy.
I have a perfect recall. Is that also jacked with?
Which book is that from?
I believe it's from the Chronicles of Darkness book. It's the eidetic memory.
Okay. Yeah, even that is a little hazy, and yeah, that's not how your brain usually works. So you has a suspicious. Okay. And yeah, do you go outside and go to the pod race?
Open the door very cautiously and just.
If it's the inner door, it's just you know, a hallway, like in a hotel.
I'm gonna put on clothes first.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you've got clothes.
Have my grease stained overalls been washed?
Yes, they have. How dare!
Is a hellscape.
How dare you!
So I'll get dressed and tag along to this race just because I don't have any other idea of what to do.
Yeah, you walk around and you get a sense that there's like this resort, and then like further off there's sort of like a main street / boardwalk area further inland, and then there are like private private homes for people who work here on like the south side, because you're on like, based on sun and stuff, he's like, okay, so we're at a port on like the west coast of the island. So when you stand outside of the resort on the beach, like the main continent should be in front of you, but you can't see it because you're 100 miles away.
I do have direction sense too.
Yeah. So you walk around a little bit. It's like, okay, so there's like on the north side of the main street is like fancy private bungalows for probably rich people. And so the south side is still nice accommodations, but it looks like that's where like people who work here live. So, and y'all are kind of, you know, have like a suite in this resort hotel thing. Then there's swimming pools, indoor and outdoor, jacuzzis. There are people there looks like there's a whole spa thing going on, and people just, you know, hanging out in various states of dress and undress and various styles of clothing. You see other changelings if you're a changeling. You do here and there see someone who isn't blinking and not breathing, but even they're kind of just chilling. A lot of rich people, but they're also kind of like more like middle class folk. So it's not just the obnoxiously rich people here, but there are a lot of them. And you do get a sense that they have the hotel set up so that they don't have to mix with the common folk if they don't want to. Fun.
So on my way to whatever flying bumper car they've assigned me to, I will suggest to Klaus and Holiday that perhaps one of them, being more social than I am, probably should strike up a conversation and see if anyone else has weird memory things about arriving here.
There are plenty of bars, restaurants. There's at least one nightclub on Main Street that is 24/7 because, again, you know, space. But yeah, so or do y'all once you get to the area where the race is setting up, you see all these little like round floating pod thingies. They're all hovering about a foot off the ground.
Bumper cars.
Yeah.
That hover.
Yep. And you see there are some vid screens up where it looks like and they're kind of blinking through. It looks like there are probably camera drones around this racing route, which actually looks like it might go around the whole island. Because you see forests and rocky terrain and like a small mountain, and like it's a lot going on. And more beaches, obviously.
Despite Sungrazer having said, this wouldn't actually relax me, it is kind of like, ooh, basic.
And there are people setting up. You can tell some people here are actual pilots. And you look at the gear inside your pod, and it's actually set up like the kind of cockpit you're used to flying. Like a small stunt fighter. But you're not sure you could get it to go hover like more than a foot off the ground. But, you know.
Do I recognize any of them? Are there any other smuggler types?
None that you can really tell are criminal, but just, you know, you get a sense that some of them are pilots. A couple of them are rich guys who think they're pilots.
Is one of them perchance 3 childlings stacked in a trench coat? Because that would be amazing.
You do see someone wearing a trench coat, and you're like, is that 3 small people on top? And they're just sort of milling about and looking, flying casual. They're not trying to get into a pod. They're just sort of hanging out and trying to look inconspicuous and failing.
Anakin Skywalker and 2 of his obnoxious friends.
So there is this one guy who is like wearing like the space equivalent of a race car suit and like has a helmet and gloves and is just like talking to a few rich people wearing like really high cut mini cocktail dresses, and it's like 11 a.m. and he's just like, oh, I've raced this will be nothing, darlings. I've raced here, I've raced there. I've done the such and such run and in 10 parsecs, and like kind of just being that asshole.
Let him.
Yeah. But yeah, the other racers are all kind of like, oh, hey, nice day. Yeah, you know, I do this for a living. It'd be nice to do it for fun rather than profit. Kind of people, and a few other hobbyists who just aren't obnoxious. So yeah, you do Masterson and Klaus watch, or do you all go to do other things?
I think I might go poke around and talk to people at the club, since that's a thing I am capable of doing socially.
Okay, then we will start with the race. So y'all get in your little floaty pods, and there is, you know, just basically like a stoplight in front of you. And it looks like this track goes all the way down this section of the beach and then goes up into the forest. And, you know, there's, you know, boop, boop, boo, and engine starts like this little thing, you know, it's tiny, but it's pretty fast.
Got a kick.
Got a kick to it.
Zoom.
Zoom! And as you're flying through the island in your pod, it's pretty clear you are one of the better professional drivers here. At least one guy who maybe wasn't as good as he thought he was, not the obnoxious guy, unfortunately, does kind of veer off and bonk into a tree, but it looks like it has a mild force shield on it, so that they're out of the race, but they're not injured.
I laugh.
Yep. So do probably other people in their little pods. And if anyone's watching on the vid screens, yeah, some camera drones are watching the race, and so people who want to sit on the pool side with their cocktails, or rather, because you're on the beach, so beachside in lawn chairs with cocktails, they can do that too. And people are cheering and booing and cheering on their favorites. And it gets to the point where you've been through enough of the island. You get a sense this is about the size of Manhattan Island, only a different shape. And then you get about 3/4 of the way through, and at the front, it's just you, and that asshole rich guy is just a little bit in front of you.
I will make whatever roll you want me to make to try and edge him out.
Okay, yeah, you feel this just ridiculously strong need to beat this asshole. Like, you need this. Actually, I want you to make a resolve plus composure roll at a penalty of -3. Because reasons.
All right, well, that's...
Oh dear God. Look at your sheet.
Okay, so resolve plus composure -3,
Yeah.
8. No, wait,
Did you roll?
11, sorry, 11.
Okay. So yeah, you feel this like at first it's just like, yeah, this is an asshole. I need to take this asshole down a peg. But then it's like that need just amps, and it's almost a little disturbing. It's like, you still want this, but that was weird. That was a little more mood swingy than you were used to. And you rolled 2 successes. And suddenly, as like, do you want to? Because I know you have Merc Blur,
I sure do.
so you could make it. Let me see. What would the roll for?
Did they give any indication that like no powers was a rule in this
Nope.
raid?
And magic is not illegal in this system.
And it's not like I would need the help. You know, it's not like I would need someone to compel me to try and beat this guy.
So you can use magic if you want. You can also what would I guess flying would be dex, drive, and and daring maneuvers would count. But you could also use Merc Blur.
Let's try Dex Drive first and see how that goes.
Okay. See,
Can you remind me, with the specialties, is that just exploding? It's not exploding dice.
That gives you an additional +1.
Okay, and what if I spend a willpower?
I believe that's an additional +3.
I'll spend a willpower. Because this is absolutely playing into my daredevil nature. So. Alright,
So, yeah, I'll tell you what happens after the roll. Okay.
Alright, so 7 plus the other stuff. 19.
Okay.
Wrong.
That is almost an exceptional success, so what happens is you feel that weird, that was weird, and you have this very strong temptation to just magic the guy out of the raid, and you're like, but your able to like, no, I can do this. I can do this myself. I don't need that. I don't need to cheat to be better than this guy.
Elbow grease and gumption.
And so you feel yourself give the willpower, but you lose 2 points instead of 1 from your pool.
What?
And you're like, so you sense like you're giving more than you would as like, what? That's not normal. But you're caught up in the moment, and you just absolutely leave this guy in the dust as you suddenly, like, you only can get, like, a foot off the ground, but there are, you're on a kind of rocky part, a rocky trail going down the mountain back towards the beach. And it's like, but if I fly up onto those rocks and go around, and you basically do that, and almost physics be damned, and you get ahead of this guy, and you just like, zoom! Because his actions denote linear thinking. Yours do not, because you're a real space pilot. Space is not linear. Only roads are. You don't have to stay on them if you can fly.
I choom his self-importance.
And as all of this kind of happens, you're like, yay, I am winning! You get a sudden... It's like your eyesight fuzzes for a moment.
Is somebody merc blaring me?
At first, you think that might be happening because, well, you know, maybe he's hiding that he's a like that. I believe there's a way to do that, but it's like, what? You remember being at the helm of the Hollow ship, and you're flying through a Stygian gate, and just hearing it. What happens is, you were listening. You can hear somewhat on the on the earbuds in the speakers in the cockpit. You can hear people cheering, and they're the people watching from the beach side of the resort. But that screaming kind of, as your sight fades into, wait, I'm at the carved cockpit with my hands on the controls, and you hear the screaming of the space between Stygian gates. The moaning, howling, screaming that you've heard a million times before, and it never gets any easier. And that just dread pushing its way up your throat. Because this is not a place for the lost. No matter how lost you are, you do not belong in this plane, whatever the fuck it is.
When
Then it
that
phases back out, and you're back, you know, still ahead of this asshole, and basically running through the finish line.
when that sensation happens, does it feel like a memory, or does it feel like this is happening right now?
It does feel like a memory.
Okay.
But you certainly never got a chance to fly the Hollow ship before leaving for Limos. So...
That I'm aware of.
It was the plan for you to fly the ship to Limos, because you are the best pilot on the team right now.
Well, I'll finish the race at least.
Yeah, and you win, and everyone's like, yay! Yay! Yay, Guildenstern, yay!
But also we might be in purgatory of some kind.
Meanwhile, Klaus, you are clubbing at 11 a.m. in the morning because this is space.
Yeah.
And this is Eden system, and we do that
And
here.
I'm Klaus.
And you're Klaus. Okay, we'll get through. So, yeah, it's a nightclub. There are no windows. Actually, there is sort of one level with some windows for people that just want, like, afternoon bar experience, or to, you know, experience daylight. But most of it is just an enclosed dance club space, and there's bars, and there's hookah, and there's people smoking and imbibing, and, you know, there's several bars with several bartenders, and everyone's pretty chill. It's a pretty chill day. Uns. And boots and cats, and boots and cats, and boots and cats, and boots and cats. Yep.
Okay.
So what do you do, Klaus? You are in your natural habitat.
I probably mingle for a while until I get an opportunity to strike up some natural seeming conversation with somebody.
Yeah, there's a lot of people are chatty. A lot of people are inebriated or a little bit drunk. It seems like the dealers here are also the bartenders, so there are plenty of things other than alcohol that are technically legal.
Okay.
But it doesn't look like anyone is freelancing here, though you also don't... Unless, do you have your regular contraband on you?
I mean, I don't know. It's probably on me, but I don't think I want to...
You learned your lesson that other time.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be mafia.
I'm actively investigating right now, so I'm not going to do anything too extreme or ridiculous or try to draw attention to myself.
But you do see one bartender in particular seems very adept at rolling joints of some kind. It doesn't smell like pot or any of the herbs that you usually smell in this system. And he's just like, you know, taking coin for it. Okay. So one thing that, since you all have purchased the entertainment package, each of you gets a little, like, wristband that, thus far, you basically just swipe it, or put up against a panel, and it's like, bing! This person doesn't have to pay for this. So you see a couple other people do that at the bar, and they just sort of put their wrist down on a pad, and he's like, okay, here's your drink. And some of you can tell the rich people aren't tipping. But the non-elites are still tipping because they're not assholes. But yeah, so one bartender in particular, most of these substances you see people handing out or selling, and it's like, yeah, I know what that tablet is, I know what that liquid is, I know what that hypo spray does. But this weird herb you haven't, this is new to you.
Okay, I'll go up to this guy and be like, not familiar with that. Seems interesting.
Oh, or is this your first trip to Elysium?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is
So, company trip of sorts.
cool.
The office retreat.
Team building with drugs.
Yeah.
Because cyberpunk is like,
of course.
cool. Yeah, this is a local herb that grows around here on this island. Not really in the rest of the planet, which is interesting. The locals, it's a little dark. The locals call it void. So
Oh.
it is an interesting experience.
What kind of interesting? I
Uh,
seem to have had something recently that just like totally knocked me out.
it is.
Don't even actually remember coming here, but you know.
Oof. It is a hell of a trip, but if you've dropped acid before, it's a bit like that, only it's faster and you bounce back faster afterwards.
Well, that sounds like a wild time.
Yep. Klaus, roll me resolve plus composure at a penalty of -3.
I can do basic math, I swear.
That's better than I can do right now. That's why I wrote all this shit
10.
down. 10. Alright, you get that same feeling as like, ooh, a thing I haven't tried before! And it's like, first it's just normal Klaus excitement of try new substance, add to database, yay!
And it's called Void. It's perfectly
Void.
Edgy.
Yeah.
For my necromancer self.
But then you feel like this swell of just raw, bottomless need. And it's kind of like, okay, that was weird. So you're like, what was... But you still, so you still have Klaus interest in this, but you did have this weird, like, swelling of emotion, mood swing thing happen. But the bartender is already rolling you up a joint of it, and he's like, yeah, so you're just tap your wristband on the pad and it'll read you, and
Alright, I'll do that.
And you just, he does it the old-fashioned way, he licks it, rolls it up, and he just, hands you the joint.
Thanks.
It's like, I would sit down the first time trying it.
Got it. I'll take that into account.
But yeah, there's lighters on all these tables. Actually, are they on the tables or they put them in the chairs now? I forget.
Guess I'll figure it out.
Yeah. We'll see what everyone else is doing. But yeah, have a good time.
Thanks. Guess I will go find some corner where I can sort of keep an eye on things and try it, because I'm, curious and horrible.
So yeah, there's basically they have little candles on the tables that people are just lighting up from.
Okay.
And they seem like not like taper candles. They seem like it's a gas flame or some kind of gas-like flame that can then be, shut off probably from somewhere else instead of something that's gonna melt or get knocked over, and it's just wired right into the table, and the table is bolted to the floor, and it's like it's weirdly high and low tech at the same time. It's like, yep, other people are just lighting up from these fake candles that are real fire fake candles. Okay.
An interesting vibe, but yeah.
Anything goes with cyberpunk.
Yep. So you light up?
Yeah.
Okay. So... Okay. So it is a bit like Klaus has probably dropped acid or the equivalent in their lifetime.
Oh yeah.
And
I
it is just
mean-
like you go on a trip of the mind. Sometimes it's a full-on hallucination. Sometimes everything is just somehow enhanced. Being a mage, that has led you to some experiences that you're like, okay, was that the drugs or the mageness? You don't really remember. You just make sure to...
Finding the line doesn't always matter.
It took you a while to get the hang of, okay, when do I peak versus when do I have to go back to work and be relatively functional? But it is just, like, instead of it being a hallucination, again, you feel this overwhelming sense of need. Like you are one giant empty maw that needs to be filled. You now have a penalty of -3 to resisting any temptation for the rest of the game tonight.
Okay.
And any roll that is not about filling that void in you has a -3 penalty. You are now a gluttony monster
Ah.
of a sort. And it only like the really strong, like, peak, what the fuck, lasts about 15 minutes. And then I guess it's kind of like catnip, where you smoke more of it, but you don't get that peak sudden rush all at once, which isn't usually how smokables work. After that, you have a bit of a come down, but for those first 15 minutes, you were just sort of sitting in a chair, like, kind of overwhelmed.
Okay.
And as you start being able to move a little bit again, and you're like, okay, that was a trip. They did not lie. Because you succeeded. You suddenly remember you're sitting in the cockpit of the Carve ship with Sungrazer and Holiday. Or you're in the Hollow ship. And you're listening to someone on the ship's comms, like, this is Protectorate, this is the Limos system Protectorate listening post. Would you please send your ship and origin codes to us and tell us what you're give us your intended destination in the system, and we will give you your birth number. Please wait to be scanned. And then it kind of just, like, blink, you're back. So it wasn't an acid trip until you started coming out of it, and then this memory overwhelmed, and then dropped again, and you're in this dark cyberpunk club full of smoke and laughter and unce.
I'm gonna...
And a lady kind of, she looks like another bartender, otherwise an employee, is like, oh, are you alright, hun? Did you fell in the void hole?
First time trying it. I'll be fine. Thanks for checking.
Okay, here's a glass of water. Just come up to the bar if you need anything else. Oh, you've got the wristband. Yeah, just come up to the bar if you need anything else.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
I'm gonna just,
And
like,
you're sort of...
send a message to Sungrazer and Holiday and be like,
Did drugs, lol.
Did drugs remembered things?
I'll text back. Raced bumper car, remembered things.
Ooh. And as you're considering that text message in your brain, you see standing about 5 feet in front of you a person not dressed for the club. They're wearing, like, kind of a gray business suit, kind of sharp, well cut. Another non-binary person. This one looks familiar. And they're just, like, doubled up, kind of growing, like, gah, gah, ah. And they look up at you, and this is what Min's butt space looked like when you first encountered them through that screen. And they're just, oh my fucking god, you asshole, and boom, they're gone. They fizzle out into a bunch of pixels.
Oh, what the fuck?
And at that, we will take our break. Welcome back to space!
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
I am running a goddamn World of Darkness game.
It's like the Matrix, except it's also purgatory.
Well, I mean, that is the Matrix.
Well,
I'm so glad I've actually seen The Matrix now.
Alright, so that is, we are going to go on our 10-minute break. Chat, stick around. Chat in chat, ask questions if you have them, because I probably have answers. And we will see you in 10. Yay! Hello, chat. We are back. Someone else say something so I know the desktop audio still works.
the desktop
waited
audio.
with-
Must test.
Chat, feel free to tell us if I fucked up the audio again. But yes, welcome back to Exit to Eden. We're our interesting band of protagonists. There aren't really heroes in the World of Darkness. So these are protagonists. Woke up on a resort island on their own planet and don't remember how they got there. But it's really pretty and there's lots of pretty people and apparently they paid for a package that gives them free drugs and free everything and wow.
Just as a side note, while Holiday is having presumably a purgatorial vision, if Dracus or if Klaus is, it's hard when we're like players playing characters who have aliases.
Yeah.
If Klaus texts that they're having that they're gone down the void hole or whatever, Sungrazer will text back, you know, where are you? I'm coming to you.
Okay.
Tell you where I am.
So, Masterson, were you watching the race, or did you all go off and do your own thing, or what?
I probably went off and did my own thing because I'm difficult.
Yeah. This is a place that's been difficult to be difficult, though, because everyone's just so accommodating, and you have a wristband that makes you not have to pay for anything. So what does Masterson look to do, or not do, or what's up?
He'll probably find a park to sit in and feed the birds.
Yeah. It is. There is a nice park, kind of off the end of that kind of main street area, so a bit further away from the beach, and this nice park area. There's place for just like hanging out, and there's nice park benches, and people are walking various sorts of genetically engineered pets, and also doge. Doge is probably its own species at this point, but dogs and doge. And further off you see there's like a baseball diamond, there's like a soccer field, there's like a frisbee golf thing, which someone has explained to me is real, so I'll just assume it is there. I'm sure I'd get it if I watched like a YouTube video, but I just don't want to. So yeah, so you're kind of in like the just chill out park area, and there's clearly a lot of athletic stuff available, but yeah, you can sit and feed birds and smuggle some fresh bread out of your hotel room, but you know, there are other people who seem to have pre-purchased like bags of bird seed and breadcrumbs and are feeding various little critters. And yeah, you're on one side of a rather long park bench. Like they're a bit longer than usual. Like you could probably sit like 6 to 8 people on it. And there's sort of like one of those bars in the middle. You're not sure why, because someone could easily sleep on this bench without having to remove that. So you're like, maybe it's a style thing. Yeah, rich people resort island. It's weird. But yeah, it's just kind of a nice, what you do notice is it's not like a tropical island. you get a sense that it's the warm season on like more of a temperate kind of island, and you can see off in the distance the basically the small mountains kind of rising up past all the athletic stuff and up out of the trees. There are some mountains, and like, oh, that's probably where the skiing happens when there is snow. And it's just this nice idyllic day. And there are some people kind of camped out on the green in lawn chairs or on beach towels who are still sunbathing. Maybe they just don't like the beach. There's a
Okay.
nice little stone fountain it's very tranquil and making lots of nice fountain noises. So you're surprised, like, if they wanted to sun themselves on the beach, you know, some people hate sand, and that's valid. It gets everywhere. And other people just like laying down in the nice cool grass. And then this kind of small blonde woman kind of doesn't walk up to you, but basically sits on the far side of the other half of this bench. And you recognize them immediately. Her name, as you remember it, is Dell. She wasn't in your... in Marines, is it platoons? She wasn't in your company?
She wasn't in my company, no.
Yeah. She wasn't in your company. So she wasn't, you know, on the ship on that fateful day. But she was, you know, you and your husband met her in service. And she was a Marine. And she's a real good friend of your family's. You can see that she's dressed kind of like, you know, like loose khakis and a tank top. She's still pretty ripped. She's still wearing her dog tags, but she's not really otherwise dressing military style. And she just is kind of just gonna sit on the park bench, and she takes out like a tablet out of her tote bag and just sort of starts quietly reading. She probably, like, you know, just nods to you as she sits down and is quietly reading as this other guy is quietly feeding the birds and just hanging out. Do you do anything? Are you still there? Or are you okay?
I am. I'm
Okay, sorry.
thinking.
It's hard to tell in voice mode.
I think I will feed the birds quietly, and every once in a while I will see if my memory jogs for anything, if I remember what happened to Dell, what I recall.
Well, she also fought in the Silent War. She was also EFMC. As far as you remember, well, she's definitely not a changeling now. As far as you can remember, she wasn't a Supernat. But she also, like, at that point, anti-Supernat feelings were already running through, you know, there's always prejudice. And then the Silent War made it a lot worse when the Silence mutated Red Plague would turn entire platoons against each other, using it to turn all the Supernats into the worst monstrous versions of themselves with zero morality, all of a sudden. But even then, like, and so that very much started to build over the course of the war in humans, even though humans were also susceptible to this bullshit. Humans were starting to really not trust Supernats, and Dell promptly told them to fuck right off, because it's like, no, we are all Marines, suck it up. They can't help succumbing to a biological warfare we don't have a cure for any more than we can. So you're not totally sure, because you haven't heard from her in a while, but you're pretty sure she would still not be anti-Supernat.
Does she 90 years older?
What was that? Sorry.
Does she look 90 years older?
Yeah, in this day and age, people can easily live to be like 150 to 200 years old. So yeah, she does look Yeah, she looks like she has aged in the normal human way.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is gonna be a bad idea. So, where did you serve?
Oh, and she kind of looks down at her dog tags, like, yeah, I'm still wearing them. She also has like the tattoos that are indicative of I have served and I am a Marine, because you never stop. It's like, oh, yeah, Silent War, Platoon 387, almost went to Sector 1, but am I lucky? Am I not? I don't know. But, you know, Silent War.
Sector 1's where I was at, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
You said you were on the front lines, right?
Yeah.
And then you made it. You survived being on the front lines, and then the other thing happened, and it's like, fuck you, universe. And yeah. Yeah, so we almost went to Sector 1, but the war ended right before we were deployed. But I still saw plenty of action. You?
Sector 1 was ugly.
Yeah. Oh, you just said you went to oh no, you didn't say that in character, so it's like, so she's
No.
sort of like, did you serve? Or are you still wearing dog tags? Like, what are you wearing right now?
I'm wearing a suit. I've got my dog tags underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And since I have a voice modulator on, it would be hard to notice them.
Yeah. She's like, did you serve?
Yes.
Oh. Where?
3rd Company.
Where did we are making this shit up as we go along, people, because role playing.
Yes,
that,
and.
Yes, and was that Sector 1?
Yeah.
Oof. Well, thank you for your service. That was, even after all these decades, some things are just too much. I didn't quit the service, or I didn't go to civvy life because of the war, but more because of the aftermath. But are you still enlisted?
No. After the war, things took a turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like the scapegoating. And I mean, that version of the Marines was disbanded, but I could have served elsewhere. I'm just, no. I didn't know.
I wasn't given that particular opportunity.
Oof. Sorry.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help but wonder if there was more I could have done to stop all the negative feelings being lobbed on the wrong people. People just as committed to service as me, but, you know. I mean, we're an Eden system, like, I'm just not, I can't deal with where the Expanse is going right now, and it's following the core, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't really ask, I am assuming people here are like, yeah, Supernats are fine. And that's why I'm here.
Awesome, then.
We know, yeah. Supernats are welcome.
Sorry.
Sorry, what was that, sir? I didn't hear you.
Supernats are generally welcome at Eden.
Yeah. This might be the last place they are in all of the Expanse. It's getting rough out there.
Yeah. Do
And
you happen to know an old boss of mine,
maybe. What was their name?
Colonel Jones?
Oh. Which was that your real name or your husband's? I forget.
Mine.
Is yours? Sorry, there are too many fake IDs in this game.
My husband is an admiral in the Navy.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Jones. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. It's. Yeah, I never. The worst part is not knowing. I looked for him. I still don't know what happened. Because we heard that they made it out. And then they just. So it's just. Ugh. It's always. It's the not knowing is always the worst part. I mean, yes, we're Marines. We have to expect to do our job. To do our job. To protect people. It's just. But it's just. Maybe it's just me personally. Yeah, I'm still close with his family, and like his husband, like still hasn't moved on from that. He says he has, but he hasn't. The not knowing is the worst.
Well, I can tell you what happened to the entirety of Third Company.
Um, do tell.
6 were KIA in Sector 1. The rest were on a transport outbound after the war had ended, and they were jumped by the Therazaz.
Oh,
They took the
crap.
entire.
They took the whole ship. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. The entire company got pulled in by the Therazaz, and they got turned.
So they escaped from one bunch of slavery jumping aliens just to get caught up with the other bullshit enslaving aliens. Oh my
Yes.
god. And oh shit, so you were on that ship?
Yes.
I am so sorry. I am
No,
so
about
glad
it.
that knowing you not at all, I'm so glad you got out.
Yeah.
Just
About 6 months ago, most of us got out.
is
We managed to
do you
get
know
out of our.
do you know if Jones made it out?
Yes.
Okay, and she kind of pulls something out of. She reaches into her tote bag, and kind of pulls out a card and a pen. She's like, "All right, this is my business card. I'm a cargo transport business moving cargo. It's just I like being out in the black, but for my own, you know, for me and my family, and not for the government anymore. Um, this is a number for Jonesy's husband." And she starts scribbling on. So, like, this is a direct line to him. Like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but if you find Jonesy, please put him back in contact with his family. And she hands out the card. Like, I'm not gonna make you do anything, because I know, like, trauma is real and awful, and I'm not sure. Well, we didn't think there could be anything worse than the Thurazaz until the Silent came along.
Yeah.
And she just sort of hands out this card to you,
Okay.
with a direct line of contact.
I look at the number. Is it familiar?
It is not familiar, but it's been, like you said, 90 years, and he's an admiral now.
True.
So, and people change phone numbers and such. Roll me. Actually, no. Do you take the card?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking at it, and you have ridiculous social stats. You are playing it cool and calm. But you feel this overwhelming need to call this number on StarNet right now. And I need you to roll Resolve Composure at a penalty of -3. Tell me if your phone is being weird, because I can also roll it for you.
No, hang on. Okay.
Actual Dracus, I have been running White Wolf games on and off for almost 20 years. I've been nice so far, you think.
Long as
Okay.
no flamingos turn up.
I know we're just getting going on this.
How'd you
Okay.
do?
Resolve composure -3.
-3.
I rolled a 20.
Did that include the -3?
Hooray!
Yeah, well, that is with the -3.
Okay.
I happen to roll a 10, and a 7, and there's one as well.
I have long since considered that there is a force opposite to the so-called evil eye that happens on Twitch and other streams, where the more emotionally invested the viewers become, the more likely the players are to succeed redunculously at their roles. This might be evidence of that. So, wait, where was... okay, so... You manage to sort of, like, you feel this just overwhelming, just swell of emotion. You're totally able to play it cool, but it's like, physical intimacy hasn't been difficult to come by. It's the emotional, familial bond that you miss. And not just your husband, but your children, including the children you haven't met. And it just swells like this need to fill this void that was left in your life when when you're thus far been unable to go back to them. But you're kind of able to just resist it and like, nope, okay, nope, not doing that right now. You have the door. You can maybe do your usual strategize before opening said door. But Dell just looks at you and is like, thank you so much. If you can do anything to help his family. Like, I mean, I guess that kind of experience was within the realm of possibility. I hadn't thought of it, but, like I said, not knowing is the worst. So, if you're able to get him back in contact, or at least tell his family what happened to him, it would be just the most kind and honorable act. Thank you. Or just if you're shy about calling them directly, just tell me, put him in contact with me. Like, I would not mind hearing from Jonesy again. Like, seriously, his husband was beside himself, so I did all the legwork trying to find him, and we could not find anything. So I didn't know if it was an intelligence thing or Thursaz, and I just don't know, but thank you so much. Alright, so as she's just sort of like, she's still very controlled, she's still a Marine, she's a very intelligent woman who always had a handle on things. And if anyone could have found out what happened to Jonesy, if there had been any information, she would have found it. If she had to, beat up an entire platoon and then burn down their barracks behind her, she would have found him. Luckily, she didn't realize he was kidnapped by Thurzaz, or she might be a changeling now too.
Yeah.
So, and as she's kind of almost starting to cry about, like, you know what happened to one of my best friends, you suddenly feel this, oh wait, that's right, I did that. You feel this, like a memory, and you remember, you were at the helm of the Karve ship, and you remember the awful screaming and horribleness that is going through a Stygian gate on Karve's hollow ship. And that's more of a memory. It's like, oh wait, that did happen. And then your vision kind of blurs and fuzzes, and you are in the cockpit of the Karve ship, of the hollow ship. And everyone around you is unconscious, which in this case is Klaus and Sungrazer. And there is a very militant, but not a very formal, but not angry sounding, like, ship from Eden system, please respond. Ship from Eden system, please respond. Do you require assistance? And then it fades back and you're in the park, and this blonde marine woman is trying really hard not to start crying. And at that point, her little watch goes off. She's like, I'm sorry, I have to go meet my wife and our kids for lunch. But yeah, please, like, contact me if you want to talk more. Yeah, my number is on the front of the card because that's my card. But just thank you so much. Thank you so much. And she just sort of picks up her stuff, and, like, you get a sense that it's not like she's running away from you, like she's scared, but it's like she has suddenly all of this pent up emotion and doesn't want to splooge it all over a stranger in a park who just helped her find her best friend. So she's, like, running away, and that is very Dell. She's like, I have too many emotions, I'm gonna run somewhere, kind of person. And you are there with a card and 2 phone numbers and a piece of bread and some pigeons. But they're, like, really, really nice looking pigeons.
I will feed the pigeons, and then I will go find my other 2 miscreant friends.
Okay. At this point, I think all those text messages going through, like, ah! So where do y'all meet up? Because you're all, the park is right by Main Street. The club is on Main Street.
Well,
And
Klaus is probably the most incapacitated of the 3 of us.
yeah, Klaus has a -3 penalty for a lot of things right now, so they're just gonna, like, it's okay.
There's so many things that I wasn't even able to write them all down before I forgot.
Klaus, the waitress comes back with a very tall drink of something neon blue, and she's like, "Would you like one? This helps settle a lot of people." And you could resist. You could try to resist it, but it's a -3 penalty.
I like the blue ones.
Yep. She's like, okay, I thought so. And she just puts the blue one, and she's like, it's okay, you've got the wristband. There's, and she points to where the pad is on this table. She's like, yeah, just tap it against the ground. It's fine. It's fine.
Thanks.
Also another glass of water, but also alcohol. You're pretty sure it's alcohol.
Have I arrived at the club yet?
Yep.
Or...
Yeah. Let's
Just
just
say
say
if
yes.
Sungrazer hasn't shown up yet, I'm messaging them. They keep giving me things. I like the blue ones.
Oh, get me a purple one if they have purple one.
Should I make
I don't think you'd like the purple ones.
If they don't, just mix a blue one and a red one together. We'll see what happens.
You were saying, Masterson?
Should I make a clarity check while these two are being goofs?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
Says a D10 plus your clarity.
No, I meant the clarity loss one for just having my emotions stomped on by the
Oh, yeah, this would be a breaking point. Oh shit. Now let me try to remember what that means. I forgot I was gonna do that today. Whoops.
I think I need to roll d10s equal to my clarity and hope.
Yes, so you do need to roll several d10s because I haven't found a better way to hack this system. Let me bring up.
And I think I need 8s to succeed.
Let me see.
Okay, I think I narrowly avoided a clarity check with the roll.
Morality checks. Changeling.
Meanwhile, Klaus and Sungrazer are doing that thing that you do when you try to find your friend at the club, and you're like, no, the other bar, no, the other left side.
Yes.
I don't see you.
And I have waved over the waitress, like, can I get a blue one and a red one for my friend?
Are you looking at the changeling morality chart? Because I don't know. Because basically, you told someone your true experience, and then she did not tell you it wasn't real, even though you said it in kind of a way.
I ran into to something that reminds me of my old life profoundly,
Okay.
and revelation of my husband's failure to move on after my disappearance.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty bad for a changeling.
Yeah. All right, so we'll say that's like a 6.
Okay. So I need to roll a 6? Because my clarity is 5.
Oh, your clarity is... yeah, just roll the 5 dice then.
Okay. And I'm rolling for 8s?
8s or above, yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 3 successes.
Yay!
An 8.
Okay, let me double check the system. Make a number of draws equal to the value assigned to the level. Okay, I just said it was 5. 8, 9, or 10 is a success. Okay, I think you only need to get 1 success, so yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, I didn't roll any 1s.
Mm-hmm. All right. I don't think 1s cancel out successes here, but I don't remember. Well, you're fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But I will keep up this morality chart because, yeah, I am pulling y'all through the ringer today.
Yeah.
And some of you are changelings.
I will eventually find my way to where they are.
I just noticed that taking psychotropic drugs is one of the clarity check breaking points.
Yep.
So have we convened amidst the
Okay, just checking something on the list for later.
Club is filled with boots and cats.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots. Yep, there's a fun party going on 24/7 in this place. And there is Klaus slouched in a chair staring and drinking. And there's probably a few large glasses. Like, they're filling, like, whatever this is. It's not super strong, but it does come in a pint glass. So, and there is a purple one. Or, yeah, we'll say there's a purple one. Like, they can get you a purple one. No problem. But Klaus, I dare say you have to make a resolve composure roll to not drink it before Stargrazer gets there. -3.
Wow, okay.
But if they do, we can just get another.
I'm so far gone that I have no self-control and cannot, in fact, save a thing for my friend. What is it?
Resolve plus composure -3.
Okay,
Did you botch?
5. I rolled a 2.
So you drink the purple one, and so Sungrazer, you get there, and there are no purple ones. There are in fact 3 empty glasses. But you can't tell the empty glass had purple in it. So
Yeah.
you know, the waitress is like, "Oh, can I get you something too?" And she brought Klaus back another blue one.
I'll take a purple one.
Okay, we'll surprise you. And she just goes and gets a purple drink.
You
Klaus, you
can't.
don't
Have
even
purple ones.
Klaus, you don't even know what these are called. And yeah, so Masterson, you walk in on this as well. She asks you, "Would you also like a drink, sir?"
No,
All right.
you can't see it, but I'm pinching the bridge of my nose.
You're all right.
Oh, here comes the grumpy one.
That's right. Klaus has neither resolve nor composure at the moment.
No.
And is rather inebriated.
Very.
So the empathy is not exactly on.
Well, Sungrazer doesn't really have any to begin with.
So yeah.
How am I the center of this group?
How are you?
How? How am I the moral center of this group? How?
Just
I
lucky,
never
guess.
had morals to begin with.
I'm violently antisocial most of the time. How did this happen?
You're just so darn chatty and good with people.
We lost Patricio somewhere?
Klaus, how many have you had at this point?
I don't know.
I'm gonna get some water from the waitress.
There are a lot of empty glasses on this table. You think some of them were water.
Some
But
of
not
them
all
were
of
water, I swear.
She
I'm an idiot. I'm not that much of an idiot.
she brought back more water. Drink for Sungrazer, waters for all 3 of you, and goes back off into the din and the chaos.
So, you know how I was in that race earlier, doing the racing thing.
You went Zoom.
I did. It was actually really nice. I did really enjoy it, but this weird thing happened, and I don't know what to make of it. But I was there. I was driving the little pod thing, and then I was in our ship, driving that, and it was like in the middle of going through a gateway because all of the cheering became the screams of the damned. You know how it is.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'm feeling weird, and I'm not entirely sure that the 2 of you or any of this is actually real.
I think I'm real. I'm certainly drunk enough for it.
I think this purple drink is real. It's damn tasty.
It's like it's too perfect, and then it's not, because then we're in the screaming Stygian gate again. But we were never there to begin with, right? Right?
Would you like my guess of what happened?
Please.
As the
My-
sober one, yes.
My suspicion right now is that we're sitting at the Lima system jump point, about to be shot to death by the Imperial peacekeepers, because we're not answering their hails, because we're all unconscious in the middle of a fever dream caused by the Stygian gate.
Stygian gate shouldn't cause fever dream, but
We've never taken a hollow ship through a Stygian gate before. We don't know what the interactions might be like for the people on the other side.
So if none of this is real, we're all sharing a fever dream, as you put it. How do we get out of it?
Oh, So I have no idea how we get out of it. I'm still currently working over the emotional baggage of the theoretical idea that my husband of the last 90 years is still holding a torch for my dead ass.
Shit.
Give you an awkward pat on the shoulder, like trying to be comforting, but I'm so drunk I can't do it well.
Are you sure you don't want a purple one? That's the
No.
kind of situation that might call for a purple one.
I don't want a purple one.
All right.
Don't pressure him.
I drink more than the both of you on the regular. I just don't drink coffee.
This is not coffee.
No.
It's
Are you sure?
If it is coffee, it's the purplest damn coffee I've ever had.
Did we have purple when we were in the hedge that one time? We had some weird shit in there.
I mean,
I remember you had some purple dragon fruit or purple goblin fruit.
Oh yeah. I didn't like that. I want my hitchhiker back. Where is he? I hate him, but he shouldn't be gone.
He's gone?
He's gone. I saw a flash of him and he was like doubled over in pain. There's something very wrong with that, right?
Your incorporeal body share materializing in front of you, doubled over in pain, and then
Yeah.
waking up to
Yeah,
existence?
he was just over there for a moment and then he tried to say something.
Let's try an experiment. I'm gonna stand you up,
Science.
and we're gonna walk you over to that space, and you're gonna concentrate real hard and see if you can make him reappear.
Just out of
Okay.
curiosity, though, you don't like him, right? And you don't like him being in your head.
No,
Generally.
no, but it's wrong that he's gone. It's wrong.
You do you. You know, if I had an unwanted passenger in my head who was suddenly gone, I'd be over the moon. But
I can't articulate right.
that's cool.
I can't say it right. But
Well, you've had several colors, so
I have had several colors. I might have had the whole rainbow by now.
Happy Pride!
out of character, this is my low-key pride shirt
Oh fuck yeah.
because it's just covered in rainbows.
Yep.
I've got my not low-key pride flag always in
Yay.
the background. Anyway.
When I'm back home next time, I will have additional power.
Okay. So, all right. So I take it Masterson picks Klaus up and half carries, half guides them. It was really like just like right in front of you. Like if they hadn't been all weird, they might have just sat down in the chair next to you. So you know, but you know. But you were also not gesturing super specifically, so Masterson picks you up and starts leading you a few feet away, past the point where Min was growling at you.
Like past it. It's over there. And I give you an equally vague gesture.
We'll do this for about 15 minutes before I start losing my temper.
Sorry. I don't usually let myself get this bad.
Why are you this bad? What did you do? What did you take?
What did you take?
Something called Void. I hadn't tried it before and I wanted to try it and then the blue drink just seemed really good and then just they kept giving me things. It seemed like a waste to not drink them.
Something called Void doesn't sound very appetizing.
It sounded amazing and it was great until I fucking lost my mind and remembered being on the ship and
So you remember being on the ship.
mm-hmm.
What do you remember?
I remember finding the both of you on the ship unconscious.
I don't remember being on the ship unconscious, but then I guess I wouldn't.
My suspicion was I was not necessarily in the cockpit. And once I figured out that we were being hailed, I came and found you two. And
I heard them trying to hail us.
I heard that too.
They say.
Masterson, what you remember is you were also sitting in the cockpit.
But I wasn't unconscious yet, but they both were.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
That's what
maybe
yeah.
that's what happened. But you were sitting in a chair in the cockpit. Sungrazer was at the helm. Klaus, Sungrazer was in the pilot seat. There was no co-pilot. You and Klaus were sitting behind him, and Klaus and Sungrazer were both just out.
When I had my vision, was I aware of the two of them at all, or was it just, oh god, the screaming?
It was, oh god, the screaming.
Okay. So if we're unconscious, what if maybe we can just wake ourselves up somehow, like just.
I start like pinching myself, like
that, but maybe a little.
This is how this is supposed to work, right?
We could try dream walking out of it, although I think that'll turn into a nightmare. Not that this isn't.
As nightmares go, this is one of my better ones, I have to say.
In some ways.
Being dead, really dead, is not going to turn out well, because I think we're about 15 minutes from getting shot at by the Imperials. Or getting our ship boarded and us getting thrown in jail for the rest of our existences.
What makes you think that they're going to shoot on us? What did you see or hear?
The tone I heard from the officer who was requesting hails was getting a lot shorter and a lot more irritated. And
no, he wasn't. He was pretty chill. But yeah, judging by how the military mind works, yeah, that is a possibility.
Yeah, they were asking if we needed assistance, which means they're either going to board us to render assistance, and then they'll figure out what we are, and hopefully they don't find the hollow. But they will bring scanning equipment aboard our ship, and then I believe, as they say, the jig is up.
I don't like the idea of anyone poking around in things that aren't their business.
Nor I. How do we wake ourselves up? It better not be like one of those things where we have to kill ourselves to wake ourselves up. That would just.
It's not gonna happen. I'll just stay here and drink until eternity, I guess, if that's the case.
Also, I think suicide is on our lit lines and veils sheet, so I avoid that. I don't mind you metagaming that. That is not the answer. No. Please don't.
Theoretically, we got here via the airport, yes?
Theoretically, none of us remembers it, but if there's only one, then.
That's how they told us we got here. Let's go to the airport and fly the hell out of here.
Do we bother bringing our stuff?
I mean, it doesn't matter anyway.
I'm still not sure this is real. I'm really hoping it's not, because it's been a real long day.
Klaus, since it's 10 p.m., so you've all been gabbing about this and having my favorite kind of World of Darkness move. What the fuck's happening? So Masterson's theory was that the Stygian Gate knocked y'all out. Roll me intelligence and occult.
Okay.
But you are still at a -3 penalty.
I sure am.
I was going to ask if, I don't know if we can also, the rest of us can make this roll, but I wanted to ask if this is something that is like a known possible effect of going through a Stygian Gate. like would I have ever experienced something like this or heard about this from another pilot?
Managed an 8.
Okay, so
Barely.
Klaus has one success with a cult. And the rest of you may roll either. Okay, so it's intelligence. I will accept academics, occult, or socialize.
Boy, 3 of my best skill.
Ball's in my court now. Oh wait, I don't have intelligence. Fuck.
Oh,
What do you mean you don't have intelligence? That's your power stat.
Yeah, my intelligence is only 2.
I got an 11.
Okay, so Sungrazer, which,
With a cult.
okay.
Because I have neither academics nor social.
Okay. Masterson, what do you have? Just tell me what skill you used so I can frame it appropriately.
With my socialize, I got a 14.
And that is 3 successes. All right. So Klaus, you are very inebriated, but you are also a Moros, and based on the
I've
stats you
been
have,
studying.
and also you have 4 levels of death magic. You are one of those Moros, and to be honest, the Stygian Gate realm thing doesn't really bug you that much. Like
No.
it really, like, you feel like a Stygian Gate when you pull off magic. It's just like, Moros resonance. So you're like, all you can say for sure, Stygian Gates don't do that. And if they do that to changelings, they do not do that to Moros. Like,
Okay.
no. No.
Going back to Stygian Gate doesn't do that.
It does not. You are
It
drunkenly.
doesn't do that. It doesn't do
sure.
that.
No.
If it does it to you, it doesn't do it to me, because I'm, still
You're a
don't want to
house plant.
speak out.
No, you're not a house
Someone's
plant. You're the other one.
listening. Someone's probably listening.
But they're all probably figments of our imagination. So who are they going to tell?
So in
Not
that case,
necessarily. It's best not to speak your secrets.
so in that case, Sungrazer, did you become a pilot before or after your time in Arcadia? Before. And Holiday, this is something you have heard a lot from your days in the Marine Corps because, well, you're space marines. So, Sungrazer, you learn this more in flight training, when it's like, so you want to fly in space, and chalkboard, this is the shit that will fuck you up. And Holiday, what you get is more like, you probably should have learned this in basic training, but it's whatever. You probably heard more like stories in the barracks from other Marines that you learned from and had been as like, nah, you shut the fuck up. This shit actually happened to a friend of mine. He was never the same after. There are alien entities that live in the that live in the void of space. And they attach themselves to spaceships, and they typically burn up for whatever reason when that ship enters the atmosphere. If it enters the atmosphere. But something about the denizens of deep space itself, of the void of space, can physically, emotionally, spiritually destroy people. That's why the general rule of thumb is, don't be on a spaceship for more than a month, because space itself eats through the bulkhead and destroys you from the inside out. Not even in a way like a hull rupture way. Neither of you are really sure why this happens, but this is a known in its, and from your point of view, it's not hedge stuff. It's not Arcadian stuff. It could be magical. It could be aliens. It could be both. But
I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens.
This is NWoD in space. Aliens are a thing, and some of them live in the void of space and prey upon ships. Which is another reason everyone uses the jump gate so much, so you're not in space that much.
Would either I in training or Holiday in conversation have heard about ways that people got through such situations?
You have heard all sorts of stories. Usually, most of the time people have some weird side effect. Usually these are stories that are about deep space missions where it's we don't know where the Stygian gates are because the Corps won't release those codes. So they actually have to fly out through space for months at a time. Also on space stations where the bulkhead isn't being properly maintained, or there aren't enough people on the station to maintain it. You've heard everything from mass hallucinations to crew turning on each other to situations like the first Alien movie, where it's on the ship, the call is coming from inside the house, and it's just a free-for-all save yourself. But even small things something was pretending to be my dead grandma and telling me to fly into the sun, and I almost did it, and I'm still not sure why. But now that you both have thought of these things, what do you say? What do you add in character?
I don't think it was the gate. I think that Drunk Klaus is right.
Of course I'm right. It wasn't the fucking gate.
But if it wasn't the gate, I mean, I guess I don't know if the two of you had that experience of feeling pulled to do something or act a certain way, but I feel like this whole place is kind of Temptation Island in a sense.
I said I don't usually let myself get this bad, right?
Yeah. So maybe Holiday's right. We just need to go, and that'll snap us out of it. To the airport.
Okay.
I hope I can get to the airport.
Holiday, you get their legs.
The changelings carry the mage out of the club, and the waitress comes by and is like, do you need help getting to your hotel or bungalow? Because we can provide that.
No.
Are you sure?
We'll be fine.
It's fine.
Maybe a purple one to go.
Oh, okay. And she, gets one real quick.
Really?
They actually put it in a soda cup, and she's like, yeah, it's open carry is fine here. Well, open carry with alcohol is fine here.
Of course it's fine. This is reality is an illusion, and none of us really exist.
Oh, you poor thing. You actually believe that. And with that patronizing, she just sort of melds back into the crowd.
Well, that's not
like that.
No. Let us make haste.
The alternative
Meanwhile, you do walk out. You do see that trench-coated person, which looks like three small people in trench coat, trying to order alcohol, and the bartender is just like, no. but I would really like a green one, please. It's like, can I see your ID? I am 80 years old. Combined, no, but really.
I'm just going to surreptitiously leave the purple one on the bar next to them, and then
a smaller than it should be hand reaches through this oversized sleeve and grabs it. Well, fine. I expected better service from this establishment on this island.
Oh no, it's a trench-coated Karen.
You lose, sir. And this strange creature waddles out precariously out the door after you. So that's
Really?
happening.
To the airport.
Really?
So there isn't an
Yes.
airport on the island. At the resort area itself, there is a helipad. And there are no helis there.
Naturally.
There is, just like a dispatch dude just sort of hanging out. He seems to have a little like shed turned into like a ticket window kind of thing with a door, so he can hang out in there. The door's open because it's not raining or anything, and he's just like, he's sitting there, he's reading something, has a soda, an actual soda, you think.
I will turn to our sociable, the sociable and not plastered member of our group. Maybe you would like to do the talking here. I don't know how we.
Sure.
How do you talk? How does
Me?
talking?
So, as you can see, my companion is quite stunningly plastered, and we need to call medevac from the mainland to get them some advanced treatment.
I'm going to even exaggerate my drunkenness even more and be like, it's not that. It's I don't feel good.
I mean, we do have a small medical facility. Like, we can deal with alcohol poisoning. Like, we can
Can you-
help their
This
stuff.
is not just alcohol.
Can you deal with alcohol poisoning and Spinhold syndrome?
And the attendant doesn't seem to know what that is. Okay, I'll call the. I mean, we are 100 miles out from the mainland, so.
Then make it snappy.
Okay.
Interjects some grace.
So yeah, he calls. Hello, emergency services. This is the Elysium Resort, and we have a patient here who is suffering from a combination of substance and alcohol poisoning, and possibly what was it called again?
Spinhold syndrome.
Spinhold syndrome. Well, I don't know what that is, so but I mean, it is within our guests' right to call for medical assistance. No, but this is the Elysium Resort. Can't you make an exception? Can't you, yes, I understand. There's an emergency. Yes, I saw it on the news. Okay. Thank you. All right. Good news is they are sending one. Bad news is there is currently some like storm surge hit the Westlands that hit the east side of the continent. So a lot of med teams and helicarriers are still engaged in helping out there. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take them.
Oh, that's
Do you
bad.
Do you have recreational air vehicles here?
Not that'll go 100 miles. Generally, they can do like 10 miles jumps, because fuel is kind of expensive, and there is cheaper fuel, but then it messes with the air here.
Do you have boats?
We have very small boats. To maintain the local ecosystem, there's actually a no yachts rule, so we have like rowboats.
So in essence, you're all trapped here on this island.
What's
Well,
the
I mean,
point
not
if you
trapped.
can't get away?
We have plenty of food and amenities, but I mean,
What
it's
if
if there
volcano erupted?
it would take an hour for that helicarrier to get here if there wasn't an emergency going on the East Coast.
It's a
What
holiday.
you called it an emergency happening on this island?
You mean, well, I just did call on an emergency. Your friend needs medical assistance.
say another kind of emergency, like outbreak of a fire or something else that would be hard for you to contain on the island itself with
Plague.
resources available.
Well, the
Just
first,
makes things worse, Masterson.
well,
I'm just asking a question.
I mean, that's kind of above my pay grade, but I mean, if it was something we couldn't contain ourselves, like I would hope they'd send something out, and they have, the weather satellites above Balder that could, confirm that. But so I can't like lie about it because they'll just put up a satellite, or they'll just check the satellite and say, there's not actually a fire there. So, also they wouldn't send like no, they would have to send both medical and fire control, but they could look down at us with the satellites and say there is no fire. So I'm sorry, like you and your friend can stay here. Like I can call up the nurse, and he can keep an eye on you and try to keep you stable and do what he can triage. But I can't just magically make a helicarrier appear, unfortunately. So there is another vacation transport, I believe, scheduled for like tomorrow at noon. But like, does your friend have that long? Like, I don't. I would hope that
it'll be fine for that long.
I would hope
Probably.
emergency services can get here before noon tomorrow.
I would hope so too. You
Like,
will let us know immediately, then.
Yeah, I mean, you can stay right here if you want, or if you want to go back, if you want to tell me your room number, I can stay in contact with you and you'll know immediately.
We'll go back. You don't want to see what the vomit
that
that comes
one.
up looks like.
Oof. Well, I mean, I could send the nurse if you want. I could also send the nurse to your room, and he could keep an eye.
I think we'll be fine on our own. You've been extremely helpful.
Oh, okay. But yeah, tell me your room number so I can tell you when it gets here.
Do we actually look for the room number?
It's like your room 100. It's on your bracelet too.
Room 100.
Okay,
VIP.
understood, sir. It just looks like really awkward, and it's just like, okay.
So we'll take Klaus to an isolated spot and convince them to do some arson.
Well, I mean, you could just go back to your room and talk about it there.
Yeah, but you
Could
never know.
go
who's
to an
listening.
isolated
No.
spot and convince Klaus to do some magic, maybe.
I'm worried that using supernatural abilities will somehow make things worse, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So.
Again, not speaking secrets, let alone using secrets outwardly.
What does Holiday think?
We need to get off this island.
Well, they have rowboats. If we just have to get off the island and we don't have to get back to the mainland.
What do you want to bet the odds are that when we find the rowboats, they're all conspicuously missing?
The way things have been going, gonna happen.
Should we just swim for it?
I'm just gonna drown if we do that. I don't have the coordination for swimming right now.
There's probably like some kind of beast in the water as well. Crocodilators and all that.
See a kraken or something. That's the right old Earth mythology, right?
Sure. All right, so starting to get edgy, starting to need to get out of here now.
Kraken.
Could I theoretically use one of my contracts to do something stupidly amazing?
I mean, you won't know until you try. Which one of your contracts?
Whispers of Morning.
We could also try entering the hedge and see what happens with that.
That's option 2.
Maybe we'll just come out in the hollow and then see our own unconscious bodies lying on the cockpit.
Is it?
Yeah, we haven't opened a hedge door.
Is it morning, like in morning, or the time of day morning?
Time of day.
Oh, whoops. That would explain why that didn't work. There we go. Okay, so you basically do a shadow cat.
Yeah,
Oh, you're an ogre, so...
I can bring somebody along.
Wait, which ability is this?
It is Whispers of Morning on page 143.
Got it.
Costs 2 glamour. Loophole. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you won't know till you try.
Well, let me try this, and then we'll try and open a hedge door and see if we can force our way out of here.
Okay.
I will grab Klaus because I don't think Klaus is going to make it out by themselves.
And I am actually a hell diver, so this is what I do.
Excellent.
Because I mean, that's basically what it sounds like. It's the hell diver ability.
I did mention that when I skimmed it. Helldivers using their dive blessing exist on a tangency between the two.
I think that's just describing
okay.
if you encounter a hell diver who's faded. So
She exists on a different frequency than creatures in Twilight, such as spirits and regular ghosts. Helldivers.
So I would allow Holiday to see me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I will whisper to the morning up.
Okay. So I take it you are wearing no armor, and thus the loophole should work, yes?
I also discarded my knife at the store, so I'm not armed either.
Right. So what should happen is this should cost no glamour for you to do because you have succeeded at the loophole. But what actually happens is you spend 2 glamour and it happens.
Okay.
Because we're being fed on by a void beast or something.
I've convinced myself that it's not a void beast, it's a kraken.
Same diff.
So, yeah. And it works, but for some reason, you shouldn't have had to pay the glamour cost, and you did. And that's bullshit.
I'll worry about that if this succeeds and we get out of here.
Mm-hmm. So, what is your plan once you become Shadowcat? And Sungrazer, is this just a natural ability of your or does it cost glamour usually?
It costs glamour, but it's not a contract.
Okay, how much glamour does it cost?
1.
Okay, you also spend 2 glamour.
I'm gonna wait and make sure that it works for Holiday first, and then do it.
Okay. So Holiday, well, Holiday said he wasn't gonna mention the additional cost.
No, that's fine. I just want to make sure that
it does work, and you are a helldiver, and you're like, yeah, that worked. And Klaus, something happened, magic. You're not sure what.
Ooh, hedge bullshit.
Hedge bullshit.
I don't know if this is a happy place for you or not, but it's Twilight, and I'm going to use Twilight to sort of find my way back to reality. Since we're in a state between what's real and what's not real in the Twilight, I'm going to see if I can trick my way back into the real world from this particular hell plane.
Okay. So Sungrazer, you do see the cantrip successfully does go off. So do you also do the thing?
Has Holiday explained the plan?
Have you explained the plan?
Yes. Via
Okay.
text.
All right, then
We're going to
I
hoodwink
will
reality.
I will wait. I will wait to see if they completely are gone.
They
Like if fading out. No, yeah,
Let-
fuck it, I'll do it.
let me
It's
take a
fine.
look at the wording again, because this second ed changeling is just crack.
I feel like this is adding sands to the carefully honed machinery that you've created for this plot point. So if it's easier for me to just spend the 2 glamour and do it, then I'll do it.
So you're basically in semi-twilight. Yeah, you see them disappear into semi-twilight.
Okay.
But using your own ability costs 2 glamour instead of 1, and that is bullshit. But you also join them in not twilight, or semi-twilight.
And I think maybe Holiday can see me, but Klaus can't, if I have it correct.
So right now, you all three of you are in this state of semi-twilight. Let me look at my notes. Masterson explained to me, like, how do you focus? How do you try to trick reality into letting you back to where you should be, you think?
Well, since the void, whatever the hell this thing is, gave me the wonderful idea that my family is out there looking for me, I will focus on getting my way back to my family as my anchor point to get back to reality, because I have to go find them.
Okay. Okay. No, that's me. Does anyone else hear me doing robot voice?
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Your voice sounds fine to me.
Are we all robotic?
You all sound robotic on my end.
No one sounds robotic to me.
Okay. Klaus and Sungrazer
Yeah.
sound fine. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know
I
what
think it's gone.
happened. Fricking Mercury retrograde isn't done with me yet.
Not it.
Arcane just said you all went robot for a bit.
Cybermen, we have all
Gone
been
now.
upgraded.
No.
Our Evo.
Okay, so I'm gonna run this like a meditation roll, because that
Okay.
is the closest I can find in things that are already in this book, and then I don't have to think about. So it is an extended roll. Each roll represents 30 minutes of trying, and you need 4 successes. And it is composure plus wits.
What's plus composure? Okay.
So I'm gonna say you have 3. You have 3 rolls to make 4 successes.
Okay.
Botches will cancel out successes.
Sounds good. First roll.
To use +1s.
We'll figure that out if we need to.
I would like you to start declaring +1s before you roll.
Oh no, I meant if things were looking bad on the first couple of rolls, I would use the +1s later on.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, look who's buying. So long as your accounts are watching this channel while we stream, I am fine with you using your own channel points.
Okay.
As opposed to somebody else's.
The roll, I got an 8.
Okay, so that's 1 success.
Okay, roll number 2 is a 9.
Okay, that is 1 success.
Come on, dice. There we go. That's a 16.
Yay!
Okay, that is 3 successes. So you're focusing on your mind, your emotions, your will, and you're like, I'm getting to my family. I'm gonna do this. And you, and only you for this moment, it's like again, reality, it does that thing that it did when you got the memory and then vision clearing, and you are sitting in the cockpit. Klaus and Sungraze are unconscious, and there is that voice on the comm saying, ship from Eden, do you require assistance? Please respond.
Tell them no.
And then something happens and reality fizzles back, and you are still incorporeal, but you are back on the resort island. Klaus and Sungrazer, you did not get a sense of this. You saw nothing. Only Masterson saw this, because Masterson made the rules.
Okay. I will tell them what happened.
So you were back for a moment.
For the briefest seconds, yeah.
Okay.
What question? This thing feeds on death and despair, yes?
And evidently also our own energies.
I hate to put too fine a point on this, but Klaus, isn't your entire bag death and despair?
Yeah, kinda.
Couldn't you just supercharge this thing and make it go away? Have
I
it go
can
by
try. It'll be messy, probably. I'm not sober. Or
Klaus,
drunk in a way, constructive way, anyway.
Klaus, give me another, let me see,
Do I have any sober someone up contracts? Let's see.
give me another intelligence and occult roll.
I want to use one of our +1s on this.
Okay. Oh, still a -3
Yeah,
-3.
it's just a -2 if I'm using one of the +1s.
More than 1 plus 1.
13.
Okay.
2 successes. I had to do a lot of math for that.
I know. So, oh, we're at 10:30 already. All right. So
yeah, I would
I will
like to
just
wrap
give this
up.
to you. Or not just give it. You did make the roll. So, Sungrazer and Masterson didn't explicitly say in character there is a monster in space trying to eat our brains. But I think at this point you can put together enough context clues that you are a mage. So not only do you know this happens, you know why. This is an abyssal bullshit. This is a creature of the abyss.
Not this again.
And on top of that, so your bulkhead should protect you from abyssal spirits, or whatever the spirit equivalent of it is. But they act a lot like spirits and can reach across gauntlets. So it could be that it's on your ship with you. It might be that it's outside reaching across the bulkhead. LOL! But, yeah, you haven't expanded any magic today.
I have not.
Or any willpower. So you didn't notice those effects.
No.
This is why role-playing is important in my games. So you don't know how it's messing with you, but oh! And you'd better hope it's a Golmoth like the goose. Because Akamoths are basically, in Meiji stuff, there's Gosha, which are basically angels of the mind that Mastigos like summoning to like challenge themselves, and it's a whole weird Mastigos thing. The abyssal equivalent of those are really fucked up. Yay! And this, I would say, what did you rolled a you rolled above a 14.
13.
You rolled a 13. Yeah, I will say that your I will allow your spirits focus to come into this, since this is how abyssal
Yeah.
things are like spirits. So that will say that's a 14, and thus an even 3 successes. The abyss isn't always straightforward in how it works, but the way to kill a spirit, like what you did to the ghoul moth, was first you made it expound all of its energy until it was out, and then Dune beat the shit out of it until it like discorporated and maybe it reformed somewhere else or not. Unless you want to take the time to figure out its bands, which is difficult. And you're kind of at its mercy right now.
Seems like we have an opportunity to expend a lot of its energy, though. Seems like a very involved sort of deal that it's creating here.
How do we expect? Oh, sorry. Are you saying that in character?
Yeah, I would have shared all of that as well as I could.
Master, did you explain what you experienced?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe it's causing some kind of mass hallucination, like on Red Dwarf. And as soon as Masterson got out, it pushed him back in, and that would have required some kind of expenditure. And yeah, this is a lot. For, you know, if you're really right outside the Stygian Gate in reality, like, it's done, you've lived almost a full day, and it's maybe been a few minutes.
See, the way that I end my effect is to spend more glamour. So
yeah, that's so yeah, Klaus, you do not know how it's feeding off of you, because yeah, unless the changelings want to share the feelings that they were uncomfortable with sharing, like that feeling of you spend 1 willpower and end up spending 2 instead.
Oh, that's what I meant by it seems to be feeding on our energies as well.
Oh, okay. So yeah. And we have another spaceship name suggestion. Thank you.
So how do we burn this thing's energy out?
Well, how did you get yourself out in the first place?
I concentrated on something that would pull me out of this particular situation, and it got me out for a second, and then I got pulled back in.
Can you do it again, but harder?
I mean, try. Can I?
Yeah, I would say the same situation applies.
Oh.
We're using the meditation pool, and it's an extended action, a short extended action. Well, yeah, we'll say it takes some doing, but yeah, you can do it.
Okay, 2 seconds.
I want to give him a pep talk somehow.
Rolling dice. That's a 15.
Ooh, so that's 3 successes. So I only need 1 more.
And then I roll 8.
Okay. Once again, you are like fuzz back into reality as the scales fall from your eyes. You're like, I'm back. And then it's almost like your head is being forced back underwater. You can still breathe, but it's that feeling of something enclosing over your senses again.
I have an idea.
I like idea.
When Holiday comes back, say, clearly it's gone to a lot of trouble to create this island and wants to keep us, you know, maybe it doesn't have the capacity to keep creating reality beyond that. So what if I just start floating that way, like over the water?
I mean,
just force it to divide its attention and
yeah, we could divide its attention and force it to do stuff.
And then just keep trying. If you keep trying to get out and I keep trying to get out, and Klaus,
I can float.
Sure. So whatever's working for Holiday should work for Klaus too, right? Because the contract has been extended.
Maybe, yeah.
All right. Well, while they keep reliving trauma, I'm going to float over the water.
So yeah, you float and it's like you're trying to float further away, but like there shouldn't air currents shouldn't affect you. You are completely intangible. But it's like when you're swimming and a current kind of pushes you like, nope, now you're going that way.
I'm gonna keep.
And it's like really annoying because it shouldn't be happening.
I'm gonna push all my shadow cattiness as much as I can.
Okay. Are you both going to do meditation, braining test pools? Or braining pools, basically.
I will continue trying to meditate my way out of this. Yeah.
Okay. So give me another up to 3 rolls.
Okay,
Feel
that's
free to use some of the +1s.
Yep.
I can buy more if we need.
You've got 5.
so a 12 is what? 2 successes?
Yes.
Okay. Then I got a 9 on the second roll,
So that's 1.
and then I got an 11 on the third roll.
Okay, so that's 5 successes. So yeah, again, you're like, yeah! And you look down, and reaching up out of a drawer in to the side of you, like, which would probably have like rations or equipment in it, this like jelly face of a cat is coming towards your hand and bites you. And goes chomp. But you know that's not the monster because you know this monster. You're not sure why it's on the ship.
I was gonna say, not the jelly cat!
The jelly cat.
Jelly cat is friend!
Jelly cat is.
Am I awake?
It's trying to wake us up.
You are awake for a moment, and then your senses are pushed back under this bullshit. But you do get a sense that the push is weaker each time.
Okay, I'm gonna keep doing this and making this thing stay stuck.
Yep. Yes.
I'll keep buying some +1s that you can use.
Sungrazer, it is like you've hit the edge of the map in a video game.
I'm just gonna keep messing up my sprites trying to push through.
Okay.
I have added 3 more to our pool.
Jellycat has sensed danger and is trying to help in the only way Jellycat can.
Aww.
So I rolled an 11 for the first one,
Okay, that's 2 successes.
and a 13 for the second one.
That's another 2. Yeah, so yes, at this point, Masterson, you fuzz out and are like, oh, and you're in the cockpit. There isn't even like an alarm going off or anything. It's just the lights are on. It's like y'all just fell asleep. And Klaus and Sungrazer, you also wake up now. Masterson, there is a small jelly cat attached to your hand.
Am I still horribly, horribly drunk?
No. At this point, you're as sober as Klaus can be right now.
Do you want to collect your jelly cat before I lose my temper?
I'll try to pick up the jelly cat.
I mean, he's jelly. You can pick him up. He
Yeah.
drips, but he's like,
Hello, jelly cat. Pet the jelly cat.
and it faces away from you and is hissing at the window.
What's outside the window?
A monster. It is about you think maybe the size of a human, but it is basically a creature that is pitch black colored against a pitch black background of space. And its face, it has like a face and kind of a body. The face is kind of an uncomfortable combination of open red mouths and tongues and some blinking white and black eyes, and that's kind of the only features you can see. And it's just sort of like menacing you with its tongues and mouths, and the Jellycat is hissing at it because Jellycat.
Is the station still calling us?
Yes. Ship from Eden, could you please send us your identity codes and destination? Do you require assistance? Are you injured? Is there an emergency going on? We do not sense any emergency alarms being tripped on your ship. Do you need assistance?
Is there a name for whatever this thing is that spacers have a name for them?
You have like a ship serial number. You have
No,
like
no,
an
no, no.
ID code.
For the monster.
Oh, for the
To
monster.
tell them that there's a thing there.
A thing, a thing.
A lot. There's a lot of. Yeah, I guess. It would probably be like Oh, what was the Enterprise number? It's oh no, it's a 30. It's an O-37, which is basically unidentified space monster. I'm
Cool.
gonna write that down.
Let me answer the phone for these people. This is Captain Masterson, Inspector General's office. We have a code 37 emergency.
Oh, all right. How many crewmen are affected? Crew persons.
There were 3 of us. We managed to pull ourselves out of it. It is directly in front of our ship, and it is staring at us through the window.
It is actually sort of on your window, kind of like one of those Garfield things, but facing you, and it's really, it's terrifying.
But at
Yeah.
least 15
There's a
of
terrifying douchecraftian space monster, like a mix between a Shoggoth and like American Horror Story bullshit. And it's like, and the cat is hissing at it. You're not sure why the cat is here still, but you feel oddly comforted.
Do we have a way to like electrify the hull and see if that does anything?
I don't think there's shielding and stuff.
A lot of good that did us.
All right, Eden ship. If you'll just tell us where we've already scanned you. If you could just tell us which planet or body you're headed to. Generally, these things discorporate once they enter the atmosphere. They burn off most ships, but we can have guards. We can have local law enforcement standing by if you think this one won't burn up.
We're unsure. This is the first one of these I've ever seen.
The first
we're
one
headed.
you've seen. Sorry.
It is. Were we going to Lagoy?
Yeah.
Which planet were we going to, guys?
The cyberpunk.
Friends?
Okay, yeah, that's Lagoy is the planet coded in city.
Yeah, were we going to City World or were we going to the domes?
I think we had said City World, but I can't remember.
Okay. Our destination is Lagoy.
All right, let me find you a berth down there then.
Excellent. I'll be transmitting information to you as well for my purpose for being here.
All right, yes, sir. Okay, back to my notes about the actual plot. La 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 la.
How close are we to the planet at this point?
You are still really close to the jump gate, but you're not right in front of it. So.
Just thinking, we probably want to get there as quickly as possible. This is like driving with a bee in the car.
Klaus, you hear a familiar voice wake up your head. That was such bullshit. Ow. Fuck. Ow.
I don't think I'd ever be relieved to hear your stupid voice in my head again.
What the fuck was that, man? What?
Talking.
I'm gonna tap the internal ship communicator.
Mm-hmm.
Derek and Rosencrantz, could you please respond to confirm that you are continuing to exist in this corporeal plane? That would be great.
You hear you hear 2 distinctive voices moaning, but not really a response, but they're alive. And
Good
they're like,
enough.
what the fuck was that kind of responses?
Good enough.
Does one of them sound more like Dune voice?
What the fuck was I drank myself into a stupor to avoid that. What the fuck was that?
We'll talk about it in the car.
Eden System ship, we have located a berth for you in the Ponos district. Sending you the coordinates now.
Excellent. Thank you for your assistance.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
So-
Klaus, he sounds the way you felt in the thing, like, oof.
Yikes.
So do you think this thing's going to burn up on re-entry?
I'd like to find out as quickly as possible.
I would say
Yeah.
from all three of your various and sundry roles trying to figure this out, yeah, most of them burn up in the atmosphere or let go before they burn up in atmosphere. It's very rare that one of those makes it to planet side. Whether it's because, like Klaus, whether it's because it's their ban or something, or maybe it's just, burning in the atmosphere is ag damage and nothing really likes that.
What happens if one does make it to planetfall?
Bad stuff.
Be that planet.
The abyss is very well. You two, the changelings have heard like that can happen, but you don't really know it. And again, these things usually burn up in atmo once you've discovered it. Klaus, you know that an abyssal entity on planet side can wreak all sorts of awful, but it does rarely happen. To be honest, this thing almost this one isn't maybe that you kind of are having a hard time deciding. It put us in a full VR simulation, but it also let
Part
go
two.
fairly quickly. So 80-20 probably will burn up in the
Well,
atmosphere.
One way or another, the problem will be solved, because even if it does make it to the planet, they're prepared for it. Theoretically.
Well, the dispatch did ask, like, do you want us to have a security detail down there when you get there? I think someone answered no. I just forgot. It happened 5 minutes ago.
No, it was me, but that was more. I didn't realize you were about to say on the planet. I thought they were gonna board our ship, which we don't.
Yeah.
No.
But
Just in case, just to make sure this thing is dead, yeah, have a small security detachment meet us at the landing platform.
All right, we'll do. We'll send a call to local law enforcement.
Excellent.
All right. Over and out, and just boop. Ends comm.
zoom.
Zoom. Yep. You start heading down planet side. And there are just breathtaking, like mile-high spires of glass and steel and other metals and other materials. And some you think might actually just be force fields of energy that are clear. And then you start following the coordinates, and the spires at the top are still pretty awesome, but they are somewhat less sparkly and a bit more run down looking. And as you kind of descend into this local ship parking lot, this is definitely the rough side of town.
Oh, good.
Ponos district. And basically what happens is there are some cops hanging out at the entrance with guns, very big guns. You think they're cops. They look kind of more military, like you're not sure. And someone does like a surface scan of your ship with something in his arm. And the guy in the helmet kind of nods and like waves you on. The thing does burn up in the atmosphere.
Cool.
So they kind of, the guy in the helmet kind of gives thumbs up or thumbs down kind of question, like visual confirmation.
To us?
Yeah. Like, is it okay or is it not okay? In case, it's on the ship.
Seems okay.
Okay, you give thumbs up. Then, they just wave you in, and it doesn't seem like whoever these guys in suits with guns are, that they want to stay here very long, or be here at all.
So, Klaus,
Mm.
now we've experienced how Changeling VR works and how whatever the hell that thing's version of VR was. Which one do you hate more?
Hard to say. Those were both awful, and I'm very sorry for how I acted when I got horribly, horribly drunk.
Well, now we know.
And with that, that ends tonight's game of Exit to Eden.
That's one way to avoid a supernatural scan.
Yeah.
Well, no, they scanned you. You're just not sure what they scanned for. But they
Okay.
still let you down to the surface, so...
Yeah.
If y'all had any super bad contraband, I'm assuming you put it in the hedge side of the ship.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
it was,
yeah.
I mean, goblin fruit was the only, like, sensitive thing that we stuck.
Well, yeah, but Dune also wanted
Oh,
to bring a bunch of weapons.
That is,
Kidding me.
and booze.
Yeah, so we have two weeks to figure all that out if we haven't yet.
Yeah.
So yes, viewers, thank you for joining us for Exit to Eden tonight. I want to hit the ground running and brain melt my players.
That was fun.
I promise there is actual
Kind of need
plot.
to run now, though.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna look for... I've been the GM, Ms. Chrysala. I am Ms. Chrysala on Twitter and most other social media, also at Magicfish Radio. So... And our Discord is now open to viewers, so if you wanna guest on this or other shows, you know, we also periodically run out of players, permanently or temporarily, and go looking for guest players, and we do that through our Discord. Oh, thank you for putting in the Discord link. And also a better, more detailed place to put our schedule that isn't Twitter. And yeah, so I'm the GM, and I run all the other things too. Next week, we are now starting a new schedule where 1 week we do Exit to Eden and NWoD in Space, and alternating weeks with Demon Hunters, a Comedy of Terrors, which is a whole different system, and the setting is kind of like World of Darkness, but funny on purpose. And I don't have to run it. So we will have an ongoing rotating cast of GMs, I think. I hope. We'll see how this goes. And yeah, that's my spiel. Klaus, who are you when you are not pretending to be drunk in a World of Darkness of the World of Darkness? While I look for someone to raid.
I'm Dracus at home, actual Dracus in chat here and on Discord. I'm also on Instagram where I've been posting some art lately. That's pretty much the only existence I have that's like, you know, online. And yeah, don't usually play very, very drunk characters. It's kind of fun.
Woohoo! Okay, and Masterson/Holiday/Jonesy?
I am Zardoz. You can find me on the internets, all sorts of places. If you'd like to buy a really fun role-playing game, you can go to Duffel Bag Full of Zombies Press at itch.io.
Yes, go buy stuff. Okay, and Sungrazer.
Oh, and
Shush.
I'm on Discord and Twitch as Pukagar, and that's basically the only places at the moment.
Okay, and we will be rating DJ Melting Girl. So again, join our Discord, follow us on Twitter, find out what we're doing. We try to game every Saturday night with something. And this should be our new schedule going forward as the world reopens and I won't have the spoons to run a game every Saturday night. Only half the Saturdays. Hopefully I can keep up with that. Thank you for playing the Channel Points game. We also run a crafty stream on weekdays, so you can earn more channel points to blow on our games. Because the only way to get channel points is to watch us live. So I hope we have been an adequate and amusing but dark distraction for the last few hours. Please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will be back to distract you next Saturday, unless you come in for a craft stream on Tuesday. So, bye! And now we're gonna go raid DJ Melting Girl for some good goth tunes.